All right. Hello and good evening.
We're doing this, HoloOnes. It's another soft remake. This is also a little test to see if like Anton Blast soundtrack is going to get pinged in our stuff or not. It's got the
I can't hear
release.
anything anymore.
It's got release next to its name, so I think it's fine because that means that no real major label owns the soundtrack. It's self-produced, self-published. So it's still going to appear in Content ID, but it's not going to, put us at risk of a DMCA. That's the good thing about that. It's that, and I think Pizza Tower also is safe as well, because we're going to play both those soundtracks when we do Rage Underground. Now here we go. We got this. Kyle, this is another game that I think you'd be really into. You love Wario.
I saw it and it looked like a lot of fun. I just never got around to playing it or buying it. For that matter.
It is. It's a difficult game too. It's deceptively hard.
Yeah, that's what I've seen of it.
So this is okay. Let's not have a microphone right in front of me. I'm probably blowing this out as I speak. Now, Kyle, I got a call. Well, actually, no. My boss doesn't call me anymore. He texts me.
Yeah.
Saying that because it snowed, the entire plant shut down, and I have no work to do tomorrow.
Nice.
Lucky.
I will be working Saturday, but Monday's my usual shit. Not today. So, Kyle, you know that.
What's up?
Well, you understand what this means, right?
What's that?
You understand what this means? I turn on my camera and I have a serious fucking bedhead. Yes.
And you're getting drunk on a Sunday.
Take a look at what's in this cup.
Are you drinking more Fireball?
Yes.
Twice in a row.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, how are you not dead?
I don't even drink it. Even I know that stuff is awful.
I am in shock and dismay.
Johnny's the superior man.
We're hitting it.
You might be inheriting the entire server sometime soon.
We're hitting it. Alright, let's get this camera off. I look like shit, I know.
You see, here's what I was...
not even on.
Let's go, let's get into it.
Here's me trying to be responsible to do a dry January, and there's this motherfucker.
This is the HoloOnes episode, and this entire episode... Well, technically it's Pariahs as well, because we're going over KDF, we're going over Ronin to an extent. But the HoloOnes has driven me to drink without...
Well, that's because their book sucks.
This is a whole thing. It's when I talk about Mage, the Ascension books, it's like a sandwich spread. Ultimately, it's that how much did you spread it out? And the answer is, with all these Mage books, you spread out everywhere. Like you take a little bit of jelly out of the jar, you spread it across the sandwich, you spread it across the bread, and how much of it did you actually cover? The thing is that some of these books, in the sandwich analogy, had more jelly put on them than others. Because what's the best tradition book?
Virtual Adepts.
Virtual Adepts. What's the
Yes.
second best book?
The
second Cult of Ecstasy.
I exactly wanted to be answering this question. I love all of them, like warts and all.
And then fucking...
You like the verbatim book.
And Order of Hermes works as well because Order of Hermes has got so much content in it because of the nature of Order of Hermes.
Oh, yeah.
But then you start getting into stuff like Celestial Chorus, which is alright. And then you start getting into the Akashic Brotherhood, which we're doing soon.
Yeah.
Starting to get special content. And then you get to the Sons of Ether, where you get something crazy with the Star of Argo and fighting Nazis in the Hollow Earth. That's pretty kino.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Sons of Ether book, peak fiction.
But the three traditions that got pretty shaky books are Dream Speakers, because Dream Speakers is very ADHD, both editions with how it's written. Euthanatos, which comes across as a bunch of nonsense to me now that I think about it. Nothing in the Euthanatos books makes sense. And
Mage,
the Verbena
dude.
book. It's that the Euthanatos is going to say, we're going to adjust the world by killing people. And it's supposed to be like the Adjustment Bureau, but you want to add this whole spiritual element to it. I'm pretty sure, I'm not Hindu or Buddhist, but I'm pretty sure killing is still a sin in both those religions.
In Buddhism, sins don't exist, and in Hinduism, it depends on school of thought.
And I know Kyle really likes the Euthanatos for flavor's sake, but to me, the Euthanatos are fucking nonsense, or nonsense traditions, sort of Verbena. Where if I could just eliminate two traditions from the game entirely, it would be the Euthanatos and Verbena.
Cringe.
I do the Verbena twice.
That's the whole thing. The Verbena, they started out fine with this whole druidism thing, where they're mages that worship the earth itself, but then it just got hijacked by this nonsense feminist angle that completely detracts from the Verbena.
I don't know. I kind of... Go ahead.
Like, Verbena Revised doesn't even talk about druidism. It talks about feminism. It says, We don't get our power from the earth. We get our power from having a pussy, and that's how we get our magic.
They're somehow the pagan tradition, but have next to no information on paganism on them.
Because you didn't care about what you were writing.
There's no Egyptian verbatim. There's no Germanic verbatim. There's no fucking.
You talk about paganism, and then you only ever talk about Norse shit. This
regular verbatim is like. Regular verbatim is like, let's talk about the nature, the trees. Revised version is like, this is stupid. I want to talk about vaginas.
That's the whole thing. See, we brought in Storyteller for episode because he's not only the mage guy, but he's got the soundboard.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I have poor impulse control and a terrible control of my wallet.
Each one of you in Discord right now, copy my stats, that little flower you can't find anywhere else. It's the one only time we're able to get that flower.
Wait,
Let's pull up in the Pariah's book first. We're going to skip forward about 30 minutes in the video if you want, if you're here just for the whole ones.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the Pariahs. Now, Kyle, I don't think we need to spend too much time on the Caitiff. Because you did that whole video with Rapred about the Caitiff and like making unique disciplines, which is the only reason why Rapred gives a fuck about the Caitiff now. Yeah.
I mean, you know.
He had zero interest in the Caitiff until he found out about unique disciplines through the Caitiff, and now he's all over them.
Well, I mean, like, that's a neat feature that you really don't get anywhere else. And it, honestly, that's good. You know, you get to have a little bit of your own inspired creativity in the game.
You get that. So, like, Outcast Pariahs, I'm looking at this right now. This doesn't even go anywhere until page 15. Is Caitiff actually a clan? No, it's just a term that's given to vampires that don't have a clan. How do you not have a clan? Well, your embrace goes wrong in some which way. As the generations go down the line, the blood becomes less and less and less potent as time goes on, which is when you eventually get to a generation 14, when the thin blood becomes a thing, and generation 15, where the thin blood is assured. That's the only way you're going to get a vampire at 15th generation, is that they will be thin blood. A Caitiff usually forms like on almost like a random dice roll as you embrace vampires, the higher generation gets. Mm-hmm. Or it's because you did what the Sabbat seems to do all the time, and everyone decided they wanted to be your sire. You had 6 different vampires pour their blood down your throat to sire you, and they said, who's going to be? Who's going to get the clan? Who's going to get the clan? Oh, it's a Caitiff again? Who could have seen that coming? We keep doing the same thing and get the same result every time. And maybe we should stop doing this. Now let's go right back to doing it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know.
It's along with that too, with the laws of Sabbat, if you have a clan, you will be guaranteed a position of power, and usually the Sabbat don't embrace anybody unless they need a foot soldier to die that day, so they usually don't give a fuck about the members they sire, so I guess it works in their favor that a lot of them are Caitiff, and this is why, Kyle, when you play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 1, why like every vampire that's Sabbat that's thrown your way is Caitiff, and why it seems that you just burn through members of Sabbat. It was hoking me the first time I was playing. I was looking at Bloodlines 1, thinking, why are there 5 times the amount of Sabbat in San Francisco and Los Angeles compared to the Anarchs and the Camarilla, especially? But then I realized that the Sabbat never intended those vampires to survive longer than a week at most. That's the reason why. Which is, you know, kind of sort of counterintuitive to the Sabbat's mission of preventing Gehenna, because with the amount of vampires you sire, you're accelerating the death clock a minute at a time every time you do that. But then again, if you believe in the Sabbat plot where Lasombra and Zimichi are both still alive, then the Sabbat was founded on the back of a pack of lies anyway.
Well, I mean, here we were thinking that the Sabbat were the most based faction, but they were running entirely counterintuitive. It's honestly a very classic trope of faction knows that evil prophecy is going to happen, does something to try and prevent the prophecy, and then makes the prophecy happen anyway because they misunderstand how it works.
Because it seems that White Wolf themselves had a disagreement with the Sabbat as to whether or not the Diablerie of Zimichi and Lasombra were successful, because Gehenna Times of Judgment is split down the middle. On one side, with the Ferris Fowl and the Wormwood scenarios, the Sabbat were successful in their mission, and the Sabbat were in the right. The Nightshade and Crucible of God scenarios or the ones that are Sabat started on the back of a pack of lies. It depends on who's writing the scenario. Ultimately.
Yep.
And is there a Caitiff conclave? No, there was one in Venice, but they're all dead. Is there a Caitiff organization? No, not really. Well, you do have the Panders with the Sabat, because Joseph Panders during the Third Sabat Civil War proved what a fucking Sigma male he was, and fighting it back against Anti-Tribu. That man, everything he has to his name is self-made and self-earned. He has everything, and he earned it. It's awesome. And that's it, really. That's all there is to Caitiff. But in terms of history, there is no Caitiff history.
Wait, what about the guy who's the...
thing is the Stone Man.
Yeah. The Stone Man? Who gives a fuck about the Stone Man?
I do! A little bit.
But what's the Stone Man's whole shtick?
He's probably a lost antediluvian or a 4th-gen Caitiff Methuselah. He's been wandering around and I don't know. He's a Deus Ex Machina for the storyteller.
It's Cuthbert Beckett runs into him, and he's in Beckett's Jihad Diary, aka that means he's another plot point that the writers completely forgot about in Time's Judgment Gehenna, and he only pops up again in V20.
You would kind of expect this guy to be like the perfect Metis, as he's the vampire closest to Cain by not having a clan.
He's the oldest Caitiff out there, and he has no picture, so how important is the Stone Man, really?
See, I would have figured that it would have been more so like the Prince of Cairo, who would be like the perfect...
When a man's a complete bullshitter.
I mean,
no, that dude's just a fraud.
Was he?
He's a fraud, yeah.
He's actively letting a conspiracy... No, he's actively the one leading a conspiracy to lead all the Caitiff into Cairo to mass sacrifice them to the antediluvians when Gehenna happens. So he can spare his own life.
Yeah, it's a scheme.
Yeah, it's not a very good one.
It's a scheme.
Yeah, and then when Gehenna happens, he's just going to get plowed out by whoever steps in his city first.
Then we have a Caitiff narrator in here who talks about how the Caitiff see other clans, and you can imagine how most of these go.
Through the Caitiff narrator to Outcast, he's fucking awful.
Yeah, it's that the Assamites, they don't like him. The Bali, they don't like him. The followers of Set, they don't like him. The Bruja, they don't like him. The Caitiff don't get along with anyone, ultimately.
They pity the Malkavians, and the Bruja only exists to pretend to be them so they don't get killed for being Caitiff.
Yeah, the only clan they seem to like is Clan Ravnos, only because Ravnos does not care about the meta plot itself, and Clan Ravnos leaves everyone alone. That's the whole thing, and that's it. Yeah. And of course, everyone's trying to kill them too, because the Camarillas trying to kill them, the Sabats trying to kill them, the Incarnu don't try to kill them, the Black Hand wants to kill them, the humans want to kill them, the werewolves want to kill them. Everybody wants to kill a Caitiff.
Why y'all want to kill these guys?
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
That's why.
Well, there is an actual answer, but yeah, later.
Well, with the Camarilla, it's more like a purity thing, isn't it?
For the Camarilla, it's because the elders believe in Gehenna, and they give the justification of the Caitiff would break up the fundamental power structure by proving you don't need to be a part of a clan to be special. And if a Caitiff were to hypothetically get up to like 6th gen, they could become their own bloodline / clan.
Which they could, yeah, which is what Rapid is doing in Miami by Night, where Kyle, the minute you put the Generation 6 vampire, you put 2 G6s in this game, you know what Rapid's going to do.
Probably kill them both.
Diablerize them.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt.
Diablerize them and pull what Marconius did with the Keacid.
Yeah, he's going to pull that.
Cowabunga it is.
We got a brand new vampire bloodline, thanks to that. That's the whole thing. Rapid's whole character Rufus, he's got, this progenitor complex going on with him. He wants to be the next vampire grandpa. That's the plot.
But what kind of grandpa will he be, though?
Will
he be the fun grandpa that hands out candy and cash? Or is he going to be like racist grandpa that has very interesting subjects? Grandpa's going through his Kanye arc right now.
He refers to them as the good ones.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
hit with these jokes, but I was trying to say earlier, that's what I wanted them to do more of the Caitiff. Treat them as the vampires that are the closest to Cain. Cain didn't have a clan, and his blood was the most malleable of all of the vampiric race.
And you would think the Sabbat would put them up on a pedestal for being that, but no, the Sabbat, they don't want them dead, they just want to use them and use them up until they're just dead and ashes.
It varies a lot from domain to domain. Like the European Sabbat just say screw you to all the Caitiff. In America, you get a bit more leeway. For example, here, Montreal's current archbishop is a Caitiff.
Right, given the freaky shit he allows in his kingdom.
Yeah.
And then,
he's kind of a P. Diddy archbishop.
You go into his Montreal parties, you'll never turn back. The hit's different. And then you got guys in America like Marcus Vattel who says, no fucking Caitiff in my land, and he cuts your head off if you're Caitiff. It depends on which archbishop you're directly dealing with.
Yeah, like I know the one for LA is a Caitiff as well.
Yeah, so it could be anything really with Sabbat. And then the Anarchs, well, once again, you're putting your lot in with the Anarchs. The Anarchs don't really give a shit about you. They only give a shit about themselves. These guys are not heroes. They're all selfish bastards, every single last one of them.
Pretty much.
There is no such thing as a good Anarch. There's no heroic Anarchs. Don't believe what 5th edition tells you.
Vampire.
You're all villains. Even the Salubri were not necessarily good people. They were the best in comparison, and they all died, and that's sad, but you still had to hurt people to heal them.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying you're the best, but when you're considering that everyone else is just awful, how good can you really be?
Yeah, it's like saying here you're the best Nazi. That's not a really high bar to set.
Well, there's Rudolf von Stroheim, JoJo.
No!
What?
Even he was a bad one.
He was a bad dude, but that stomach machine gun and him screaming all of his lines at the top of his voice redeems him.
Wait,
like all the innocent people he killed. He's a JoJo character.
Oh.
Kyle, you'll love him. He's directly inspired by Wolfenstein.
So he's BJ Blazkowicz.
Yeah.
No, he's the opposite. No, he's the evil BJ Blazkowicz.
He's Death's Head.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But the whole thing is that, like, to briefly explain to Kyle, he revives an ancient vampire, the Pillar Man, realizes he made a massive fucking mistake, blows himself up trying to kill him, and then he gets rebuilt by the German military as a cyborg with this machine gun stomach, and he's trying to, like, fix the mistakes that he made and release onto the world.
Okay, he's Mecha Hitler. Cool.
Yeah.
Part 2 is, like, weirdly underrated.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man. Like, part 2 is got so many awesome moments in it. Kyle, you would genuinely like it. You love Indiana Jones type shit.
This is like the 1920s one where, like, you know, Joey Joestar kills somebody with a Coke bottle, right?
Well, 1930s, yeah.
Yeah. I imagine if part 2 had stands in it, it would probably be like one of the most popular ones. Cause
it would, but it's the last one that used the vampires in it, and I do miss that element.
Yeah.
And with all the vampire shit you got in the Caitiff book, you've got all these new flaws, like bulimia, where sometimes if you fail a stamina roll difficulty 8, you'll vomit up the blood you just ingested. Awesome. I hope you enjoy licking it off the ground.
Jesus.
Clan weakness, where you just develop a brand new weakness, or you copy another clan's weakness at random. Or fangless, where you have no fucking fangs, you schmuck.
Or infertile vitae. You just can't embrace anymore.
Or you're just stupid.
Or random boners.
That's the whole thing. That's what issues you get with it. But along with it too, with a 7-point merit, you get new bloodline. It says, behold, you now have a clan that's named after yourself, and you get to become the progenitor of it.
That does sound kind of cool, I'm not going to lie.
And along with it, you have new disciplines as well. Because now with Caitiff, because the Curse of Cain is mutating as time went on, as God intended, we now get new disciplines, like kineticism, Kyle. Would you like to alter the flow of energy? Well, now you can with this power.
That sounds pretty sick. You could probably cause a lot of damage with that.
I think we listed this off before, but let's do it again. At level 1 with kineticism, you have dampening. The character can hinder the flow of kinetic energy affecting him, reducing the damage of any such attacks directed at him. The character spends a blood point and rolls stamina dodge difficulty 6. Each success reduces the amount of damage successes against him by 1. Before soak. Dampening effects of aggravated damage also. That's a big damn deal. A character using dampening may attempt to dodge at the same time by splitting his dice pool. If you combine this with fortitude, or
you're basically...
if a caitiff were to get his hands on it, Visceratica, you're now up against a vampire that just can't fucking die.
Yeah, you're basically invincible.
Level 1 power.
And that's level 1, Kyle. And how it works is that you're being hit with something, and when it makes contact with you, you immediately drop its speed to 0. Is how it works.
You become the immovable object.
Yes.
You become Gojo.
Yeah, Satoru Gojo, where you now just cannot be hit with any physical attack. You can only be killed by Deus Ex Machina.
Hollow purple.
Everybody loves that guy. Level 2, Redirection. The character can alter the course of moving objects, thus bullets can be made to veer away from a character and sometimes even reversing 180 degrees. With another stamina dodge roll difficulty 6, for every success, the character may alter the direction of a single projectile as much as 30 degrees. Due to the level of concentration required, the character may take no other actions. To redirect a missile back at source, the character must achieve 5 successes. However, he must also make a Wits and Firearms roll difficulty 8 to hit his source. If the target is a person, he may attempt to dodge the returning projectile. Which is awesome.
Now you can reflect things as well.
This includes Lure of Flames, Kyle.
So basically just a free success on Rotrek.
Right. Vengeful Strike. The character is able to focus kinetic energy as a weapon. Any attack that successfully strikes the character may be refocused to add the character's own hand-to-hand attack. The character spends 1 blood point. When struck with an attack, the character must still soak any damage she receives. However, she may add additional dice to her own damage dice pool equal to the total number of damage successes against her. This effect can only be used if the same or the following turn in which the character was hit. The extra damage is only considered aggravated if her attack is aggravated, such as Vampire Fangs. So that's the whole thing. Kyle, you like My Hero Academia. It's all on my mind right now because I'm talking about before in the server.
Okay.
I think I made this comparison before in a previous episode. Do you remember Nirengeki Shota?
Nirengeki Shota? I
yes.
Don't think I do, no.
He's one of those characters that should have been the main cast. He should have been. You had so many throwaway characters in My Hero Academia, dude. You had so many good ones that you just weren't doing anything with. Yeah, that's him right there, that little Simon role.
Oh, yeah. What was he about?
His quirk was called Twin Impact, where if he punches you, he can then, double the damage of any attack that's not necessarily his own attack, but his allies as well.
That's interesting.
So he was a support hero for the whole fight with them. He was just on the back lines, doubling the damage of all of his allies.
Hey, support roles are underrated in combat.
Which is what it would be. And then
everyone
also
wants to be DPS. No one wants to be support.
I also like how the fans noticed that this guy was wasted potential, and they've drawn all this fan art about him. This is one of the most beloved side characters I've seen, dude. For fuck's sake. That serves in on the biggest fucking black pill of all time, man. You peaked in high school. All of your best years of your life are behind you now.
I used to be a hero, you know. That's great, kid. Put the fries in the bag.
I used to play college ball, you know.
See, due to inflation, I decided that my 20s are going to be from 25 to 35.
I could have improved. I could have gone pro if I didn't tear my rotator cuff.
Yeah, now Deku's running around in an Iron Man suit.
Which is why I decorate my entire room with all this Pittsburgh Pirates sports memorabilia or other football team or other basketball team memorabilia. And I get super attached to my sports ball team, and I get really butthurt when they lose, and I get really smug when they win.
Don't ask why all these holes are in my walls, though.
Yeah, you know that kind of guy. I used to be somebody, now I'm nobody. Level 4 discharge. The character can enhance the kinetic energy she generates herself. She may apply this to ranged attacks. This is what I mean. The character spends a blood point and rolls willpower difficulty 6. For each success, she may add 1 die to her damage pool. This damage may only be applied to physical damage such as fists, sword, or bullets. The extra damage is only considered aggravated if her attack is aggravated. The character does not need to split her dice pool between this power and her attack. She receives her full pool each turn. So yeah.
Jesus.
You just unlock key blasts.
Yes. And then finally, Kinetic Shield. The character creates a barrier of kinetic energy in front of her, which may be used to protect herself or anyone around her. The character spends a blood point and rolls Willpower difficulty 7. With one success, she creates a 6x4 barrier in front of her that will absorb up to 5 levels of damage and health. Additional successes will increase the size of the area or increase the cushion of the blow. One success equals 1 point of damage reduced.
All right, then you get Armor Lock as well.
Yes. And now we have a character that can never die and also keeps her team from ever dying.
Yeah, notice how this goes up to only level 5. This could hypothetically go up to 7.
Yes, but we have yet to see a kid that lives long enough to have that happen. And Kyle, you're keeping it as a pretty close secret. You haven't told me the discipline that Rapper has made yet.
Well, yeah, I need to let him do it because, it's part of the surprise.
And you did the whole video with the KDF before where you were talking about disciplines that you were making yourself.
Yes.
Which included...
that was a minute ago. Hang on. Let me dig around.
You had this whole joke going on about, the cocaine KDF or something?
Oh, no. Victor made a weed KDF.
Did you make a snow flame character?
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's awesome.
Yes.
You directly convert your blood into marijuana and you blow into somebody's face and get them high.
I don't remember the disciplines. He kind of came up with that.
That's like at least a painful party member doing that. You fight by blowing smoke in people's faces and getting them contact high.
That sounds more like a Least of the Joyful kind of thing.
It's a very silly ability, but now that you think about it, Kyle, can you fight a man stoned?
What?
Can you fight a man while stoned?
You can fight a man drunk. I don't see why not.
Yeah. I feel like you might actually be more clear when you... Evidently, I think some UFC fighters, go into fights while stoned.
Yeah, you'll just be laughing the entire fight instead of actually throwing a punch.
I think it depends on the strain of weed you get.
It's indica.
Ah, yes. Combat marijuana.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Vikings used to, take mushrooms before they went into combat.
And the Japanese giving their men methamphetamine before they fly a plane into a cruiser.
Well, that was...
one guy, Gary, in the US military.
Methamphetamine was the miracle thing back in the 1930s to get your soldiers to enjoy killing each other.
Why do you ever criminalize it then?
Because, we didn't need to kill each other anymore, and people
The United States government is keeping me from my methamphetamine.
Well, no, the thing is that they turned it into Adderall and prescribed it to people that weren't still in class.
That's what I was going to say.
All these fucking controlled substances. I gotta find a copy of the Anarchist Cookbook and ruin my life with it.
No, you don't. Nobody uses the Anarchist Cookbook. You use the improvised. You use the U.S. military improvised munitions handbook.
Let's see if the recipe to crack is on 4chan.
It probably is.
If you want to know how to make something crazy, I know how to make crocodile. It requires about 18 ounces of... I can't say.
Sugar and spice, everything nice.
I remember that one Twitter post from years ago where it was man, Twitter 15 years ago, I taught people how to cook crack in a microwave. Now you can't even call a fat bitch fat.
You can't even do that anymore.
You can also post kid corn on there still, so some things don't change.
Thank you, Elon. You gotta love the Mr. Musk.
Good old Olean.
Today he posted a picture of Wolfenstein's Hitler crying. For some reason.
The richest... Remember, he's the richest African-American to exist, technically.
He's a spurg. He's always been a spurg. He's just gotten a lot of money.
Also, the richest autistic person to ever live.
With a lot of ass as well.
Kyle, would you like to do the Ronin section again, or should I do it as well?
I would recommend doing that because I was mostly checking out Hollow ones for this. Now
with the Ronin, it's essentially a Garud who's been exiled.
Yep.
You broke the litany. You went against tribe interests. You now get kicked out of the tribe. What this basically means is that any and all gifts and ranks you had are stripped from you. You get your basic gifts that are your breed and your auspice. Sometimes not even your auspice, but your tribe gift is always taken away. Every single one of them. If it comes from a tribe, it's sourced from a tribe, it's gone. Along with that, all of your rank is gone, which means that you will get no favors from the Garou Nation. You are told, get the fuck out of here. Don't let us ever see you again, or we will kill you. Is what is the message.
Yep.
Meaning that you are fighting by yourself the entire time, and also means that the forces of the worm now know that you're undefended.
So they're going to throw everything they have at you.
This is how a lot of BSDs are made.
Yep.
In case you're wondering why 10% of all werewolves across the world are BSDs, this is why. because now some tribes do this more than others, because Surfangs, Shadow Lords, Gafenris, Fianna, Red Talons, Wendigo, and Nectina will do this constantly. If you go against tribe interest enough times, they will get your ass out of there as soon as possible. Black Furies just beat the shit out of you. Glossworkers just reprogram you with a computer, with a little wire that they shove into your forehead and it codifies you again. But the Bonars, Children of Gaia, Silent Striders, and Stargazers, I feel like I'm missing a tribe, but I think I've said all of them. I think I did.
The Yoctena, the Wendigo.
I said that. I said about those.
Okay. The Get a
Usually they're more forgiving. Well, I did say it, Fianna. The Fianna would kick you to the curb as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Stargazers.
But the Stargazers are more forgiving because the Stargazers are those kinds of intellectuals. The Bonars, because they can't really afford to lose anybody. The Children of Gaia, because of how progressive they are. And the Silent Striders, because you're the mailman. We can't really afford to lose a mailman, and we're not that populous of a tribe either. You'll get infinite second chances, seemingly, with the Silent Striders. Unless you really fuck up at work, then they kick you to the curb.
Yeah, something really insane, like, I don't know, eating someone's brain or something.
Well, even then, they have two, like, quote-unquote, like, wormish camps that they know about, and they haven't wiped them out. As much as they wag their finger at the Gefenris for having the Swords of Heimdall, there are two whole camps to the Silent Striders that still do this shit. I'll pull up their names as I speak. We're going to pull up some dirty laundry, ladies and gentlemen. Those two camps, by the way, are the Bitter Hex, which are these witch werewolves that are cursing other people using gifts that may or may not be of a warmish origin, or the Eaters of the Dead, who eat the tasty brains and learn their knowledge through eating the brain.
Wait a minute, I thought that the Bitter Hex was Black Furies.
No, that's it's not Shredders.
No.
Oh, crap, I just realized which tribe you missed. It was the Shadow Lords.
The
Red Talons.
Oh, the Shadow Lords will fucking kick you to the side as well. And the Red Talons wouldn't even make you a run. They would just kill you.
Yep. He betrayed the pack.
It's usually Samix Red Talon circles. It's murder o'clock.
Every day is murder day with the Red Talons.
Yeah, and they wonder why their numbers are so low.
They pull their to-do list that says, "Oh, what's on my to-do list today?" And it's just kill written down the entire paper.
Yep. Precisely.
And basically, that's it. That's it, really. It's just you're now a well-founded tribe, and now you're now playing the game on hard mode because you have no tribe. And some other tribes will let you back in, like the Bonars and the Children of Gaia will take you in, but you really gotta bust your ass. You gotta do a whole rite passage all over again. The Wendigo will have a whole rite for you where if you do this whole confession where you sweat blood out of your body and you confess your sins, you get to become a Wendigo, but only if you have Wendigo blood in your body. After all, you only become you can only have the bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah if you can prove your mom was a Jew. You gotta do it with a Wendigo. And thankfully for Jake Paul, he did that, Kyle.
He did what?
No.
Did you not see Jake Paul's bar mitzvah?
No, and I don't want to.
Yeah, you gotta claim that man's went into your own. He's your problem now.
He's your problem now, Kyle.
Oh, great. That means I get to kill him.
Oh, we shouldn't say that online. No, cut it out.
You're going up against banned one of these days saying that shit.
I know.
Doing all this. And now we're going to go to Rumble and we're going to pull our penises on a Rumble.
You would like that,
all right, guys, I'll go get the ruler.
Yes. And now we have a quote. But we also have a forbidden tribe you can join, Kyle. The Skin Dancers.
No.
You want to party with Samuel Haight, Kyle?
No, because he's a prick and I hate him.
It's the dumbest story ever told, and they keep telling it. They even told it in 5th edition. He's back in 5th edition. They killed Samuel Haight, only to bring him back in W5.
Why won't you let me die?
Because
Samuel
they really
Haight
like
a part
that
of
guy.
that unholy trinity
reason.
of like named characters everyone hates. It's like
That's
him, Theo Bell, and I know it's like a number 3 and 4.
Number 3, probably the whole one we're about to talk about. So,
yeah, and who would be number 4 in the fucking 4 horsemen of characters everyone hates.
Alright, so now we go ahead and we go to the main section. We now pull out what everybody's been waiting for, the HoloLens book.
That's right. Oh, the HoloLens book. Whoops. Let me get my pants back on then.
Alright, so here's the whole thing. Now, we are introduced to one of our many narrators. This is it's not a 2-way dialogue. It's a fucking 5-way or like 6-way dialogue in this fucking HoloLens book. I hate Mage books, man.
I just hate this book in particular because it reminds me of the Children of Gaia book.
All the Mage books do this. Every single fucking one of them does this.
To be completely honest here, I did not finish reading this book.
I don't blame you because it's fucking boring.
This book sucks.
I do love how the Mage books are outlined. I do like the story that gives me a personality test, but holy shit, man!
You like it because you're a masochist. You like it fucking hard and rough.
This is written by Tad.
Books are.
This is written by Tad McDivitt, who is a guy who has no wiki page. Apparently, has some sort of background in writing novels. But then again, anybody can write a novel now. Like Kyle wrote a novel.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And then what else you got? This was also written by Angel Leigh McCoy, who wrote Sins of the Blood, Hunter Book Defender, Hunter Survival Guide, Kith Book Puka, The Bygone Bestiary, Technomancer's Toy Box, in Anime The Secret Way, Kith Book Satyrs, and a Change in the Dreaming Player Guide.
So this guy's all about
changeling.
changeling.
So much good. Now, only one of those are changing. Everything else is Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, but this guy's got credentials.
And with Angel being a person that started off with, I don't know if Angel's a man or a woman, which is no, it's female. It is very obvious she wrote for Changing and Dreaming. Very obvious she wrote for Changing and Dreaming because you're going to find out. Kyle, you remember when we did a pro episode in the back and you were deeply unimpressed with the HoloLens? You had no desire to ever put these guys in the game. You had no desire to ever talk about them again.
Well, yes, because the best way to refute a moral nihilist is to kill them.
It's that Smiling Friends episode you like so much.
Yes, because it's correct.
And that was basically it with the HoloLens for a while. But this book comes in, and Angel comes in with her own ideas that I really wish she would have stopped beating around the fucking bush with 6 different highly opinionated characters about. But when we finally get to the point, we find out that the history section to the HoloLens book is that there is no history. Nothing.
Nope.
There is no fucking history section in this entire book. They're just going over fucking sleeper history. And nothing happens. This is not a book. This is a fucking lecture about what world history was, specifically European.
Yeah.
You wasted my fucking time with this. Like, if you have this book, just skip the entire history section, man. There ain't no fucking shit in there for you. Fuck this shit, man.
Fuck this shit.
I don't know what it is with Mage's Ascension. Mage's Ascension is just so dedicated to just wasting your time with so many of these sections in the book, man, which is why I take so long to get to doing a Mage episode, because so many of these books are just painful to read.
Yeah. Surprise, everybody! This is going to be a shitting episode, not an actual episode.
You remember Ryan said that when we were doing this, that the love of the game was ultimately what drove him onto the project, what got him attached to the project.
Correct.
And Ryan doesn't want to do the show no more, and that's fine. That's his own decision. He's got other shit he wants to do.
Yep.
But the thing is, I love Vampire. I love Wraith the Oblivion. I love Werewolf. But when we get to Mage and Changeling, this is where I gotta look at White Wolf and World of Darkness. I gotta say, look, I love you, but the love is not unconditional. You do some stupid shit sometimes, and I gotta call you out when it's stupid.
Yeah,
this is one of those
book
times.
Sucks. I can't even deny it. I have nothing good to say about where it's fucking
this is one of the first World of Darkness books where I noticed genuinely terrible game design in the development of it. Where there's some roads in this book that just make no fucking sense. There's Storyteller, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's a road in this that will give you backgrounds in the dream background, but you need 2 points in the dream background to fucking use the spell.
At that point, why not just put more dots in the fucking dream background.
By that point, if your storyteller allows you to use XP to buy a background, then why are we even using a spell?
Yeah. The only reason I could see it being that way is if you can like bring that 5-point dream background up to like 6 or 7. Then that gets interesting.
And even then, you run the risk of over specializing with some backgrounds where the resources background, for example, is something that's always going to be useful. When I was building Nozomi for Miami by Night, I had no issues with how his stats were probably, in comparison to everyone else at the table, a little bit lacking, because Nozomi was not going to be a combat character anyway. He was a money character who fought ghouls. That was the whole shtick behind him, Kyle.
Yes.
Where everybody needs a sugar daddy.
When, like the whole bit with the cop in the first episode you did, now, it looked like Nozomi did nothing besides put cocaine in his pockets, but no, I had ghouls. And the ghouls did a job for me.
Yes, they did a phenomenal job.
If that's the playstyle with Nozomi, it's that I pay you to do the job for me. And then you do it because I have money.
Nozomi's just, I'm going to pay you $6 to fuck off.
Yes, that's the whole thing. But then I realized that Rap Red ran a Macaulay game. And I realized that 5 minutes into it, I completely fucked my character sheet. Because something I really should have paid attention to that was my own fault was that the Macaulay, when they go into their forms, lose dexterity by a significant margin. Yeah. There's a reason why these two lost the War of Rage, Kyle. It's because their dexterity scores, them and the girl, get shredded when they transform. And it does not matter how many dots in strength or stamina you have if you can't land any of your attacks. Kyle, my attack roll, after I did the math, was 1 dice block.
What the fuck? Why?
That's what happened, because the Orchid form and Sukin forms fuck you up that badly.
That's horrendous.
My own fault, I was putting more points in the backgrounds, and I wasn't paying attention to the dexterity stat. So when I said, 2 points, 3 points of dexterity, I'm fine with that. No, I wasn't.
Nah, bro, you're gonna die.
No. And I have no enthusiasm to ever play as Macaulay ever again.
Yeah.
But
Macaulay are cool in concept, but when you start looking into this, like, you should be a lot cooler than you actually are.
Just use the Sauroids. Just use the Dracoids from the Progenitor's book. Just do that. And so going into this, the only real takeaway from the Hollow One's history, this is what I was saying about the sandwich spread before. You took a tiny teaspoon of jelly, poured half of it back into a jar, put it on the bread, and then you spread it at the thinnest possible layer you could with your knife. That's the history section for the Hollow One's book. There is how many pages in this? Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 pages of history.
This has been Counting with Johnny.
And only one of those pages has viable history on it.
That's just disappointing.
Yeah, I count those out to let you know the point of how much you have to sit through this book to actually get what you're looking for.
Yeah, you're better off just like looking down, seeing what spells you've got, and maybe looking at the characters.
Just play the magical crackhead. That's how you want to do this.
I wouldn't say magical crackhead. This, if you want to play magical crackhead, then play a marauder, which you're not going to be able to.
Or a Cult of Ecstasy member. The whole thing is, why do you want to play a Cult instead?
That's what you want to do. Drugs.
It's what you want to do. The power of crack. Save the day. But
make the
when
actual
you want to be a philosophical nihilist. Fuck. I misspoke. Fuck.
We'll just make you better. Just get addicted to marijuana. That's all. Put you right back up.
But I want to be depressing and angsty.
Yeah, it's
the sad part. Liking the Hollow Ones.
You went coding crazy not too long ago. You can just do that with the Cult of Ecstasy.
I went coding crazy for a minute, but I rehabilitated myself.
Now, the thing with the Hollow Ones is that the Hollow Ones, same as the Outcast book said, we've always been here. There's always just been a bunch of orphan mages that have thought to themselves and said, hey, I can actually do something besides just existing and following what somebody else wants me to do. Kyle, define the word spell.
A spell as in like casting a spell?
Just the word spell. Just define that word.
Here, let me look her up real quick. Hang on.
I got it for you, Kyle.
And spell.
It is to write or name the letters that form a word in a correct sequence.
Yes. Or be a sign or characteristic of.
Now, Kyle, when I say the word cat, what do you think?
I think of a cat. A small, fluffy animal that has night vision and claws and is kind of an asshole.
If I say you broke our gentleman's agreement by changing your name back in Discord after we made the plan, how does that make you feel?
Bringing this up again.
Rather vindictive.
This is what I mean by this point, Kyle, where the Hollow Ones realize that words are magic, because you're able to instill ideas with those words that are able to influence the thoughts of your fellow man around you. This is something that turns out that magic is way more mundane than you thought it was. It's not flying around on a broom, shooting fireballs out of your hand. It's not realizing that the Matrix is a thing and that you can code reality. It's not talking to spirits and making pacts with them. It is, I can instill ideas and emotions in you, and I can inspire your next action. It's as simple as that.
That's what magic is. If you suck!
If you suck.
I mean, suggestion in D&D 5e at least is a very powerful spell. So
and that's the whole thing. Now, have you ever heard of Promethea, by the way?
Not Promethea, but I've heard of Prometheus.
Now, Promethea is a comic that was written by the same guy who made Watchmen and Swamp Thing, Alan Moore.
Oh, him.
Yeah, you know how crazy these comics can get, right?
Yeah.
And
again, I'm not really the biggest fan of that commie wizard.
And in his comic wizard teachings, this was him trying to help enlighten people through comics. And I like how he drafted it, because with a lot of comics, it's usually just storyboards. We look at comic books, but he wrote out all these different maps and charts as his panels, and it became really entertaining to look through and read Promethea. Where one of my favorite moments in all Promethea, by the way, is the whole fight with Asmodeus, where their rematch with him, where Cal, instead of him just being the sex devil like he is in D&D, he's this giant spider monster that you run into. And they get their ass beat by this guy beforehand. They're going back to this whole fight. They're saying, oh, we're going to go back in. We're going to fight this guy. We're going to kill him. Kyle, to put the point across, here's this picture that's posted in the studio notes.
All right, let me see here. Let's see.
That's him.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, giant spider, right?
Yeah, it's creepy as hell.
And as they're fighting Asmodeus, they realize that the fight's pointless. They stop fighting him, and then Asmodeus just becomes a man. And instead of fighting him, they just have a conversation with him. And he says something along the lines of, "See me as monstrous, and I will appear as a monster. See me humanely, and I'll appear to you as a human." And it goes to show with, especially nowadays where we're reaching a level of animosity where both political factions in America right now, Kyle, are at the point where we're about to kill each other.
Yeah, that's about right.
Because nobody, and this includes me, is willing to put down the hatchet, it's going to reach that point. But if we were to see each other as people instead of as monsters, it wouldn't come to that.
I always see my countrymen as people. The government, however,
are animals.
We're
now
now at the point.
Want to do to them.
But we're now at the point where the 2020, everything that happened during that year fucking radicalized me past the point of no return. I can't go back to how I used to be. I was on your side, Chuckleflex, and then you turned me against you.
Yeah, that seems how it happens, and it's not any specific side. Both sides are... No, not both sides. All sides are doing it.
This is where you ultimately become either a moralist or a libertarian.
Remember, libertarianism is for smart anarchists.
And Kyle, we need to go to Anarcho this year.
Where the fuck is that?
It's in Acapulco, Mexico. It's this giant anarcho-capitalist convention that happens there every year.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
You got money for a plane ticket, right?
I'm sure I could. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. I'd like to go to Mexico.
They said the entire country's a shithole, though, and I'm not even lying about that. I'm not even being racial.
No, I'd probably still go to Mexico.
Moral to everyone listening to this: do not vacation Mexico. Go to Honduras or Panama.
Or Aruba. Aruba's really nice. I like Aruba.
To Mexico,
Belize.
All the water was brown.
Yeah, and like all these houses are fucking shacks. They're leaning over to the side, and children are walking in the street in just diapers or just a long shirt, and they just like fucking shit in the middle of the road.
That's India.
I mean, Hispanics. They told me they like it here. They don't like it in the mother country.
Yeah, you went over to Mexico and you thought you were in India for a minute.
Oh yeah, I remember Gabriel Iglesias did a bit about that.
Yeah. tell the bit why I get this alcohol on me.
Wait, what?
I'm trying to drink some alcohol. Do the joke.
So basically, he was talking about like how he's going to India, and everybody got really concerned. They're like, Gabriel, don't go out after dark. There's a lot of people out there that try to take advantage of people from out of the country. Don't drink the water. There's parasites that'll get you really sick. Don't eat the street food. It's really bad for you. And he started thinking, don't drink the water. Don't eat the street food. Don't go out at night. Where have I heard that before? That's Mexico.
One more thing before we get off the point and we go back to the episode. You remember Bald and Bankrupt, right?
I don't remember that now.
He's a travel channel, by the way, Kyle.
Oh, okay.
And he has this video that's called "I Visited India, So You Don't Have to."
Oh, is that where they started throwing the shit at people?
Well, no, that was the other YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
But he goes into a hotel room that they want to charge him $60 for a night for a bathroom that has a single shower head. It's over a drain, a sink, and the toilet is just a blue bucket.
Oh, well, I mean, it's $60 a night. The fuck did you expect?
He's like, we're not paying 60 quid for that. That was nasty.
Oh, Jesus.
But, back to the whole ones. Now, they formed as an organized group because of the Romantic period of literature. 17th century had all these fantastic books that still stand the test of time that were written during this time. And they realized through the power of just simple spelling that they could control consensus to an extent. They were going to tell people what was beautiful, factually so. That there was stuff that was beautiful, and there was stuff that was ugly. This was not subjective, this was objective. And they were going to help guide you as to what was the truth of beauty. But then the Tenocracy ruined it. Storyteller, how did they ruin it?
I mean, considering what it is, I think... Are they the ones responsible for why everything looks so fucking hideous?
Oh, yeah, brutalism.
Yeah, brutalist architecture, gray, blocky buildings, there's no personality, everything is sterilized.
Kyle, you went to, Estonia? And you went there and you saw the building in person.
Yep. Come to the Eastern Bloc. Come see the building. It's even better in person.
The building.
Better yet, McDonald's in the 90s versus McDonald's now.
Oh, dog, McDonald's is so fucking boring, man.
Yeah, McDonald's nowadays, like, the only reason to go into a McDonald's is if you're hammered at 2 a.m. That's the only reason to go to McDonald's.
Cancer, but, you know.
Like, you had checkered backgrounds, you had the red ribbons around that restaurant, you had like a Japanese thing going on with the restaurants for a while, and now it's just fucking beige, and that's it.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the building, Kyle, but I'll pull the building.
This is the modern day McDonald's right here.
That's what it feels like. But what ruined it is that it was a Tenocracy, and before the brutalist architecture, it was classical. I drank alcohol, and now the word's hard for me to say.
That tends to happen when you drink on an episode.
But what it was is that they were saying, "Oh, you're a big fan of Greek literature. You're a fan of Roman literature. Oedipus Rex and the Oresteia are really good stories. Let's read what you wrote. Hang on a minute. This isn't a story at all. This is propaganda. You wrote a story with a very clear political bias and very clear political message, and you're just trying to get me to think the way that you think. This isn't beautiful at all." And then that's all the Tenocracy wrote, and all the Tenocracy published during that time. Thank you, Syndicate, and NWO. Incredible.
But mostly the Syndicate.
Mostly the Syndicate. The Syndicate realized that you could release the slop, and it would make money. And now they have the AI can no money.
Yeah, I feel like that's an NWO plant. Only the NWO could think of something that bad.
I'm pretty sure when the technocracy does divide, it will be the Progenitors and Syndicate versus the Iteration X and the NWO.
Yes, exactly. And the Iteration X will be mercenaries at best.
Yeah, you'd rather sign up to Big Pharma than Big Tech, between the two.
Well, I mean, like, Iteration X would be like, hey, Syndicate, how much do you want to pay us for some secrets about the NWO? And that's basically going to be the relationship for that.
I would rather be a mutant.
You get to keep your soul.
I would rather be
you don't get to have nothing.
A mutant. I'd rather be a mutant than a cyborg.
Speak for yourself. I want to be a robot.
Yeah, the mutant powers. But well, Victor sent me something sexy in my DMs. Okay, I gotta get off of that. Yeah, I'm in the middle of an episode, you douche.
It's great.
And
Storyteller, don't you want to be a cyborg, or do you want to be like a mutant?
Put the wire into my head immediately.
He lost
his one when you can be both.
He lost his voice to cigarettes. That's why it sounds like that.
I have no mouth, and I must scream.
I must scream.
That's great.
And now you have a group of people that are all come out of the woods and finding each other and saying, hey, we want a great consensus about what's beautiful, and we're going to have all these different underground clubs, we're going to have the slam poetry night, we're going to have the underground music, and to an extent that's kind of true, isn't it, Kyle?
Yeah, except for slam poetry kind of fucking sucks.
Kyle, what is the best music out there?
The best music out there, objectively speaking, is usually classical music, but it's very subjective.
Oh, no, it's underground stuff.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yes, the best kind of music you hear is stuff that's underground, that's self-published, that's self-produced, that has no record deal.
Yes, I went to go see my buddy play like his very first show with his new band, and I paid like $10 at the door to get into an American Legion in North Virginia. It was a bunch of kids wearing fucking black shirts, smoking cigarettes, drinking PBRs, kicking the shit out of each other, and it was some of the tightest shit I ever seen in my life.
I'm trying to remember what this for fuck's sake, you titled your album something banal, and now I can't pull it up. But there was a Joe Rogan episode I remember where I'm trying to remember the name of the rapper, but because he called his album 30, it's not pop up in search engine optimization.
Really?
So I don't remember what his name is, but he had a whole episode with Joe Rogan where he was saying that, first of all, the album was called 30 because he was creating a rap career in his 30s, and that was the concept behind the album, was his insecurities about whether or not he was going to make it in rap. And you can't really go back to being an average Joe after being a rapper without some shame to it. That was what the concept album was supposed to be. But then he said that he recorded a whole album pandemic, and it never got released. And Joe was saying, well, why the fuck isn't it released yet? And he said, oh, your first time talking about a record label, isn't it? Is that so many labels will sign deals with artists, record the whole album, get the rights to the songs, and then just never fucking release it.
Oh yeah, you have to do it solo now if you want to get any sort of traction.
You gotta do it, and sometimes an entire record label will still have you under contract, but because you recorded with them, you're not allowed to perform and produce your own music. It's whole shit. That's why, Kyle, even though Suge Knight did what he did, there's still respect out there for Death Row Records. Because this man was going out and finding people in alleyways, and he would sit on a milk carton and would listen to these guys rap in front of him, and he would sign them on that day.
Yep.
That kind of shit. And you don't have that anymore. We had a pretty good period during 2016, 2017, where we had all these different underground guys on SoundCloud before it became a meme, making actually pretty good rap, and now that's gone. And we're never going to get back to that period again.
Nope.
Which kind of sucks.
Now you gotta go find it yourself.
And even though I am guilty of this, I do play around with Suno AI on occasion. Yeah. Now, because of AI music out there too, you're now so thoroughly buried under AI slop that you're now struggling as an independent musician to get your shit out.
Yeah, I'm actually guilty of that.
Though, granted, some of this AI music actually is better than the mainstream shit on the radios now.
Yeah, the bar is so low that making your own stuff with Suno AI is probably the better option.
Which would really piss off a Hollow One, but you know what? I'd rather sign up with the virtual adapts than you guys. Anyway.
I would think that, but there are kind of, sort of, pseudo virtual adapt hollow ones.
Where, Kyle, you might be thinking to yourself, does AI music suck, Kyle?
Most of it.
All right, well, Kyle, how do you explain this then?
It depends on who's making it.
I explain this then.
Grift shop in the key of
Yeah,
CWC.
This fucking kills me, man.
See,
it's not going to get
worried
content.
you were
It's a parody of Macklemore, but it's not getting content.
See, like, the thing that I thought was kind of charming about it at first is when they were getting, like, cartoon characters to do, like, murder raps, which I thought was really
Squidward
funny.
And SpongeBob and Plankton.
Yes,
Yeah,
those are actually really funny. Like, Glorb did a bunch of them. And then they did, like, Frank Sinatra sings Gangsta's Paradise. That was actually kind of cool. But then
when seeing Sound of Silence.
Yeah, there's stuff like that. But then again, they were doing that before on the internet without that shit. Like, who remembers fucking Carl Weezer singing Redbone?
Oh, yeah, like the My 100 Impressions videos that people would do.
Exactly.
And you got this, and it's a song about the quartering taking a shit in a Walmart, and he floats the toilet.
Oh, that explains why that toilet's always backed up.
Yeah, it's because the quartering's been fucking destroying your septic system, dog.
It's all that coffee, man. It's not good for you.
God damn it. I'm the one who has to claim that.
Dog, when a guy took a shit in a retail store and you had to clean it, that was the worst fucking day. That's what turned you into a misanthrope.
No, you want to know what the worst
No, I've had that
day
happen to
when
me.
someone shits in the urinal. That's my worst fucking
Yeah,
day.
like the man, like fucking the quartering fucking shit in a trash can.
That's disgusting.
He went to a bathroom and like the toilet seat was covered in shit, so he just hoisted his 400-pound fat ass over a trash can and shat in it.
I'm not gonna lie. If that was my option, I'd probably go for the trash can too.
And like his wife got Tyroned, and he retaliated by peeing in the sink.
Again, disgusting.
Yes, and that's the whole thing. And he tells these stories on his own. Nobody asked for this, and he tells it on his own anyway.
Hello, I'm about to sell you coffee for 10 minutes, but before I do that, let me tell you how my wife got featured on Blacked.com.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This is more interesting than the actual subject of the video, because there's nothing for the hollow ones.
No, there's like the hollow ones in here. They bring up like a whole bunch of like different like cliques of them. And if you want to get a bunch of group of hollow ones together in one place, it's called a clique. That's what it's called. I think you were missing an opportunity here. It should have been called a book club.
Honestly, yeah, that would have made more sense given their whole bullshit shtick.
Yeah, giving it to these guys simp for Lewis Carroll and J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and Edgar Allan Poe and Lord Byron.
Basically, the goth kids from South Park. Well, gosh, how do I join you guys? It's simple, really. All you got to do is dress like us, talk like us, listen to the same music we do, use the same makeup, and then you two will be an individual.
Yes. In case you want to know what Hollow One looked like during this time as well, Kyle, as much as you love classical music, have you ever heard of Berlioz?
Berlioz? I don't believe I have.
Hector Berlioz is this guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
And let me show you what he looks like. Now, you look at this guy's picture, Kyle, and you tell me whether or not this man got pussy in his life. That's him.
Oh, with a fucking do like that and the sideburns dripped out? Absolutely. That motherfucker was swimming in pus.
This man
has more kids than Elon Musk.
JoJo, this man is a French composer and conductor. And he wrote music about doing drugs in his home. And then he'd land on his back. And the harem of witches flew in on their broomsticks and sat on his dick and fucked him. And that was the song.
Gosh, music these days is so sexualized and full of drugs and violence. Why can't it be like the classical music comes up to this guy's like, I'm about to ruin this chick's whole career.
That's the whole thing.
I mean, wasn't one of like the really great Russian artists also like a flaming homosexual?
Yes.
Which was it? It wasn't Tchaikovsky, was it?
It might have been
narrowing
him.
it down.
It might have been him. We got Storyteller on the facts about this. Kyle, you gotta find a witch. That's what you gotta do.
A witch?
You're already a hag. You're already a hag master, Kyle. You gotta find an actual witch to fuck.
I'm not fucking a
find
Wiccan.
yourself.
They don't shower.
No,
you gotta find yourself.
You gotta find the Haitian. Kyle, you gotta come back down to Charlotte. There's 1,000 Haitian women down here, and they're voodoo witches, Kyle. And you gotta find one.
I mean, I could probably fuck a Haitian. Hell yeah.
The voodoo witch. You go into the bedroom, and there's all these skulls and bones hanging from the ceiling with a Santeria circle drawn on the bed.
I don't practice Santeria. Ain't got no.
Well, wicked guy, come down to my bed, looking to cast a little magic himself.
That is terrible. What the fuck, Story?
He successfully transitioned.
You got to find yourself a tall, snitchy glass mommy.
Why am I here, man?
This video.
We also have factions of these guys as well. We got the elemental cliques, where you have a whole where the Hollow Ones get so unfocused from the original premise, besides being nihilist. So you have elemental Hollow Ones that seemingly worship the 4 elements or get their power from the 4 elements. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender shit is what it is.
Awesome.
You watched Avatar: The Last Airbender and you said to yourself, I can do that. And so you did. You became the master of the 4 elements, but you thought you were Aang, you were actually Korra the entire time.
Not awesome.
A bum
Yeah, it's
broad
pretty shit.
that has a god complex.
I'm the Avatar and you
really
gotta
tough.
deal with it.
I'm the Avatar! You gotta deal with it! Proceeds to broke Bolin's heart the first time they go out. You fucking bitch.
She was a slut. Like, her character was just a slut.
I have
That's
not
all it
watched
was.
Korra or Avatar, so I have no
To another
context
that-
for any of this.
But
Okay, let me put this in perspective here for you, Kyle. Will you consider a girl to be a skank if she tries to date 2 brothers that are genetically related to each other and bounces back and forth between you every couple weeks?
Yeah, but also...
Oh yeah, she also works with them on a day-to-day basis.
Also,
Yes.
if those bros don't catch on, they are supremely dumb.
and then she leaves both of them for a woman.
Yeah.
Oh, the same woman one of those 2 guys was dating.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's even
Mako's
worse,
game
dude.
was so out. Mako's firebending was so low, he froze both his girlfriend's wombs.
Yes.
Like, if that would have happened to me, like, I would aim for the bushes. I'm not even joking.
You just suffer instant ego death.
Fucking
would.
Foo Fighters playing in the background.
Yeah, I would just, I would knock back a bottle and aim for the bushes.
And then it's in Asia. There's they split the Earth element in 2, like they do in Asia, and it's a wood and a metal element. And that's that thought. Okay, you got the pantheistic cliques that aren't pagan. Instead, they're one of the many ideas that the Verbena just do not touch. They are voodoo Hollow Ones.
See, now that's interesting.
Exists, though.
Like why wasn't this in the Verbena book?
Because it's already somewhere else.
Yeah.
The
It's in this book
Bata.
now. It's here now. And if you want to have the 1,000-year-old witch, you now gotta go to this book for it. But then you get to the back of the book for the pre-made characters, there's no fucking voodoo character. You don't get that.
You get Coffin and Andy and Lele before there was Andy and Lele.
You get the twins. When I first saw an image, I thought the man cloned himself so he could suck his own dick.
Whoops, I meant the Nagoma, not the Bata.
That's what I thought it was. Kyle, if you had a clone, would you have him do that to you?
No.
I mean,
I would just, if
I
I
would
had a
at least
clone,
ask for consent first.
if I had a clone, I would just play music with him.
And then you got ones called the Voodoo Gangsters that are just like violent Haitians. That's all their characters really are.
Wow.
So, but basically just every Haitian person I've ever met in my life.
Well, okay, Johnny, tell us how you really feel.
Tell us how I really feel. Personal experience is how I really feel.
Oh boy.
Then you get,
Wait a second. There's one Haitian at the end of this book. Kind of voodoo thing.
All right, good.
Yeah, wait a second.
We're going over that at the end of the book.
Oh shit!
Yeah. You got the Incognitos who are hackers.
So fucking diet VAs.
Diet virtual
Yeah,
agents.
those guys.
Now, granted, Kyle, this was back when Java was how you coded.
Okay. You can still code in Java. Minecraft is still written in Java.
Well, Kyle, you know the stereotypes when it comes to coders, right?
Yeah, it's like they'll always bitch that, it's whatever, the previous generation worked on.
Now, the C++ coders are furries. The Java people are just boomers. There's not a...
No, C++ came before Java by like a mile.
There's not a single Java programmer who isn't younger than 40.
Yeah, that is fairly true, yeah. But most of those systems that the boomers worked on were either in COBOL or Fortran.
And this is why we got a guy with a master's in computer science in the call with us.
Again, it's not a master's, it's a bachelor's, and it's just...
I'm trying to play you up here.
I know, but I can't overhype my credentials too much.
And you got the Soundwave masters who, if this book was written today, it would have been the SoundCloud artist. Basically.
Soundwaves.
It's that these guys are indie musicians, they make up their own music, they're like punk rockers, where I'm trying to think of like who could you draw as a comparison around like 2002, like who the fuck this would be?
In the 2000s?
Yeah, like Aphex Twin, not really, because Aphex Twin had a deal.
Well, it would have to be just like anybody underground at the time. I mean,
yeah, by that point, and these guys
Smashing Pumpkins,
their whole history aren't really
didn't they have a record deal though?
I don't know.
Yeah, isn't there a wrote in the back of this book called a mixtape?
What?
Oh god,
I think there's a wrote in here called a mixtape.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Dream Play. Shelter from the Storm.
You get to be a cycling. Kyle was in North Lake Mall 10 years ago, and that guy tried selling me his mixtape for $20.
Wait, what?
And his name was Bandman Too Nice.
Bandman Too Nice?
Bandman Too Nice was his name.
That's kind of funny. When I worked at Jimmy John's, there was a dude that would come in and try to sell his mixtape, and his rap name was Bald White Dude, because it was like a 40-year-old bald white dude.
Yeah, and then you got the Railroad Riders, who aren't really a thing anymore because this is like 1970s type shit, where these are people who are basically just hobos who go around and ride on trains all damn day. And
just hobo.
They also team up.
Beats the hobo life, stabbing folks with my hobo knife.
and they team up with the Soundwave Masters to help distribute the mixtapes. By the way,
I mean that works.
You gotta go on the train. You're stuck on this train with this guy who's asking you to buy his mixtape. Are you just not going to buy it?
I'm starting to realize how bad these guys are in comparison to the Cult of Ecstasy video, where like each subsect you had at least like 5-6 minutes to say on them. Yeah. We have like barely fucking a minute to say on each one of these.
Which is why we added the Caitiff and the Ronin at the beginning, because there's fucking nothing in this book to talk about.
Yeah.
And honestly,
evolve into the verbatim video where it's gonna have it's just gonna be
it's a criticism.
How can we fix this?
I want to know why this was written. It's because they were saying, no, there is enough content to make an entire HoloLens book. There is, and then they made one, and this is what's in it.
And
like when
mind
I
you,
first saw,
you go after.
Well, I was gonna say when I first picked this book up, I was expecting to some deep introspection on like the nature of nihilism and at least like the concept of even if there is no hope, do as you will. So what you're gonna die one day. You live a life. Do something with it. There's nothing after it.
And the angel wasn't interested in that.
You do something while you still have it.
Yeah.
So at least I play HoloLens.
You were expecting Nier Automata in this book.
Yes.
I was expecting something more on the lines of
yeah, and then I'll go ass snapping, finger snapping, ass
life into pieces. This is my
getting what I expected. I got me at 15 years old.
This is what it is. The whole ones basically are just a bunch of precocious assholes that think they're more important than they really are. That's how you summarize these guys.
Yeah, I'm not just looking through the revised book. I'm also looking through the M20 Forgotten and the Forbidden Orders.
Oh, I am 20 where it was written by David fucking Hill.
Here.
No, like this.
Fuck everything about M20, my man. Oh.
This book is quite literally just nihilists doing fuck all with their lives because the sun's going to explode in 3 billion
Angel
years.
says, I have a background in writing novels, and I'm just wasting your time with a faction that I actually didn't have anything to say about.
Sounds like the average Portland, Oregon resident.
I'm now saddled with writing an entire tradition book, and this is what I made. You made a bet, and instead of graciously taking the loss on the bet, you made this.
This is a faction that is very much of its time, which is a damn shame because when we're going through the beginning of this, I could see something that could have been amazing, like a mage faction that focuses on beauty, on what is truly beautiful, like objectively so. We could have had the Mage Toreador.
And then you immediately see this abandoned premise in the second chapter. The premise is immediately abandoned in the second chapter.
Yeah.
And it's just schizophrenia at the end of the day. Like, what are we even talking about? Why are we?
You know what we could have gotten? You remember Naruto Shippuden, the guy that replaced Sasuke with in the team, the guy who brought his pictures to life?
Sai.
Yeah. We could have had those kind of mages.
Yeah,
with
like an art mage.
mommy energy.
You got.
That would have been fucking sick.
I can sort of blow into some of these too. Like, you have the social terrorist punk cells, where I think the name alone tells you what that is. The moles who are trying to infiltrate the autocracy.
Portland Road.
The outsiders who are like fucking necromancers.
I guess, yeah.
Like the ones are called Gaunts. And these guys
slightly interesting.
Yeah, they talk with wraiths. And apparently as a mage, you could just make a fetter for a wraith.
That's kind of cool.
You could just do that.
That would have been a great thing to do.
And it's wasted on these guys.
Wouldn't this have made more sense for Euthanatos to have?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
was saying the exact same thing.
Because the Euthanatos want the wraiths to move on, to keep the wheel turning.
To get out of there, you can still get some mileage out of the wraith, though.
But sometimes you gotta give them a gun if you want them to move on. You can't move on with pretty words alone.
We find a purpose for you. Your purpose was not to be a human. Your purpose was to be a ghost, and now here's your new job in death.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to treat you better than anybody in any of the legions.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing here. And then you have the managers who are all kinfolk, and they are just basically mage slaves for the werewolves. They don't even have any real agency of their own, and so the section just ends.
And then you have basically this is what Marina was a step and a half from becoming.
Well, the whole thing with Marina in our Mage Tuesday game is that you're a dream speaker, and that actually makes sense for that to work with a werewolf group. That makes sense. But a Hollow One, you're pushing it, because the Hollow One's bootleg magic can't keep up with what a dream speaker can do. And given that the dream speakers are already on the same page as the Garo Nation as a whole, why are we going to the Hollow Ones over a dream speaker?
Because they're there at the moment. It's like you have a choice between McDonald's like down the corner or going down to like that hole in the wall mom and pop Italian place like down this like across town.
Yes. It's just for convenience sake, but you always do the extra trip for the better quality.
Absolutely.
Cost be damned. And then you have the Blood Bags, who are mages that team up with vampires. And where is this even going, guys?
You had potential here, because of course a vampire would want a mage ally, but you do nothing with it!
A vampire wouldn't even do this anyway. A vampire wouldn't embrace the mage and shadow the avatar.
I'm not gonna lie, Johnny.
Throw him at a fuck. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, Johnny. These guys are pissing me off just as much as the Verbena are.
Yeah,
I'm seeing so much wasted potential here, and it's triggering my tism.
And then you have the smoking gun that you wrote for Changing and Dreaming. You have an entire group here called Glamour Whores, who just exist to be subservient to changelings. And that's it. So the whole thing with the Hollow Ones is that you wrote a tradition book for a faction that has no agency and no ambition. Isn't this game called Mage the Ascension? And you're supposed to be ascending? And the ascension does not trickle down to you? You have to find the ascension on your own?
Yep. But No,
Like,
they just deserve
God,
it.
guys, why can't the Ascension just come to me? Why do you gotta work for it? God,
That's the
such
thing.
fascists.
We got JoJo's camera on, and he's blacker than ever now.
Oh my God, JoJo, you have an N-word pass.
Yeah.
I wanted you to see my shock of disapproval from the previous fucking 4 minutes. It's been.
Well, we're currently seeing what La Sombra would look like on camera.
Yes. I'm just convinced that JoJo's La Sombra.
Yeah.
JoJo, turn a light on your room for Christ's sake.
Kind of stream.
Yeah.
Do not pull a DSP here.
No, I'm not.
The camera's been on the whole time. Hello.
the May 1st burst. And let's take a look at this. And the review take did one better. Review take's wife sucked his dick while he was on camera.
Chad move.
Yeah.
Honestly, no, I can't fault the man for flexing. Okay.
Yeah, for having your wife who's balding suck your dick on camera.
Why was I sober for this
He's got
video?
a wife?
Yeah, he's got a wife, he's got 3 kids, and one of his kids is blind because he fed his kid vape juice that she drank.
Hold on, I'll be right
juice?
back.
Yeah. She drank out of his vape and it blinded her.
What?
Which was, perfectly preventable because, I don't know, don't put your e-cigarette next to your 2-year-old child.
That's
Maybe.
kind of fucked.
It's the whole thing.
my
So, I'm now flipping through pages in the Halloween book trying to find something to talk about. Okay, so we have the Halloween foci, like stuff that they use for the magic. One of them being makeup, as in you're just your makeup kit.
Oh yeah.
Right. I feel like we're only scratching the surface here because, like we said before, shouldn't this be just all paints in general?
Yeah, it
It's
should
not
be
just
more like
paints,
artistry.
It's the aesthetic, the look. They pretty much turn looking fabulous into magic.
But this is the whole thing with the Halloweens. The Halloweens came into existence because goth culture was the thing in the 90s. That was an underground thing. That was when the goth fandom was at strongest, was in the 90s. It is gone now. You don't have mall goths anymore. You just have e-girls who dress goth and then play trap music on TikTok. And that's all you got now.
Even though there's like 30
ultimately.
good trillion video essays about how TikTok is ruining underground culture, which it is.
And that's all you got. And then...
Damn you, China!
And that's all you got now. So there was the goths aren't ever coming back. And then around this time that the Halloween's book was written around the 2000s, goth shit was very quickly exiting the conversation because a new and honestly what goth people were the entire time, but were just in denial of it, was starting to come out. The emos. This is what you were. You were just in denial of it. A goth really is just an emo person who takes themselves too seriously. At the end of the day, this is just what you are.
Yep.
And I would know this because I ran this fucking crowd when I was in high school.
We all did, Johnny. You're not the only one.
I'm glad I never took a picture of myself during that period.
You know what's funny is that I had a studded belt for a while when I was in middle school, but I never had any band shirts.
I had a spiked bracelet.
Kyle, do you know what Switch looked like in the Matrix?
Switch in the Matrix. Let me fucking remember.
Oh,
It's been
back
years
now.
since I watched the Matrix.
I think if I lace off
that
coat
dude,
with
yeah.
fucking I don't know, alcohol, and I fucking ingest it nasally, this should make the rest of this video bearable.
He's becoming a Cult of Ecstasy member as we speak.
I'm Cult of Ecstasy maxing. Oh, okay.
You're seeing things my way now.
Yeah, let's go wear gimp leather and go beat up a pedophile.
That's how you do it.
Interesting.
Actually did it.
You put
That's
the
actually what they
gift
do.
So what happened when I was in high school is that Kyle, I did not like black. I did not like black clothing. I was not a fan of that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
But white was more interesting to me. So when I was in high school, I owned multiple pairs of white jeans. All the shirts I wore were white, and there was just a white jacket that I owned that I was emotionally attached to. And basically, that's just how I dressed, was just in all white. Every single article of clothing I wore was white for a while. And the only thing about me that wasn't white was my hair, because, Kyle, it is very hard to bleach black hair.
I assume you tried at some point.
I did, and it was very, very uncomfortable, and it was 3 hours of burning pain.
Yeah, it's
Trying to do that.
bleach.
Yeah.
I don't know what you expected.
So I stopped doing that. But basically, that was what I was when I was in high school. And of the friends I talked to, I think it tells a lot about me today, about how I turned out. I had no guy friends when I was 16. I only ever talked to women.
You son of a bitch.
And all of them dyed their hair. All of them dressed in black. All of them were scene kids. Was just the group I had when I was 16. And this was the crowd I ran in, and with it being scene kids, we all took ourselves way too seriously. We all had the fucking depression that we all like poured onto ourselves. It was this like friend group where nobody actually liked each other because we all had our fucking issues with each other. And I think the only reason why is because the medication I was taking for depression curbed my fucking appetite, and because I refused to eat anything, I just gave my food to them, and that's the only reason why I was in that friend group. And I can tell you, when I'm looking through the HoloOnes book, it's taking me back to when I was 16, and I look at myself when I was 16, and I said to myself, what the fuck were you doing?
Nobody knew what the fuck we were doing when we were 16.
And Kyle, you knew how I was acting back when I was that age too, and there were days where you couldn't stand to be around me.
Well, there were. I mean, like, you know, but that was just us just having a little.
It was anger. It was I hated everybody. I hated that I was supposed to be held up to this expectation that I knew I was never going to, and that I didn't want to be on this earth anymore. And that's what it all boiled down to. So I look at this HoloOne shit, and I look about it, and something about it just rubs me the wrong way, because that kind of stuff, that's nothing to glamorize. That's something to really draw attention to. This isn't something that I really want to do anymore. Now, granted, when we played Orpheus in the channel, Michelle Shea was the character I made who was depressed. I took the 4-point depression flaw. She was having like her third bout with heart cancer. It was like a very sad kind of character. The thing is that Michelle was made as a kiss goodbye to who I used to be, and that's the reason why I made that character.
That's kind of interesting character. See, like that's, I think, a character depression done very well.
And when that story ended, part of the reason why I liked Orpheus so much is because I used that as a means of finally burying that part of myself and walking away from it. And I look at the HoloOnes and I'm thinking, this isn't something that I can see a main character doing, because by the nature of being a HoloOne and the kind of vibes this book wants to push, this is not a character that would ever go down that road. This is just pretension. This is just depression. This is just taking yourself so seriously you become a lolcow. And I don't like it.
Indeed.
I don't like anything.
HoloOne Ascension is basically realizing how cringe you are and becoming the full-on emo kid.
But with how the HoloOnes were first presented in Pariah's Outcast, it was because I see the world as having no value and consequence. I no longer give a fuck, and that's what gives me power. So I'm able to act with reckless abandon. I will burn fast, I will die young, and I will do that regard for myself.
Those are the HoloOnes actually like.
Those were the ones that were going down an interesting direction. Now, Kyle doesn't like him because he doesn't like that kind of person. But you could see how that could become a minor antagonist, Kyle.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's just the book club. It's just the high school anime club, ultimately.
And that makes it just a complete fucking cringe fest.
And there's no ascension goal for the HoloOnes, because the virtual adepts, we found out the Matrix is real and the internet was discovered, and we're going to break out of reality and become the God Modders. The Order of Hermes, we know that the Demiurge is real, and we're waiting for someone to rise up, be the chosen one, and fight the Demiurge, kill the Demiurge, and then we can all rise and become as gods. The Akashic Brotherhood. The Akashic Brotherhood, we believe that if you reincarnate enough times and speak with your old selves enough times, you'll eventually become a perfect person. The Cult of Ecstasy, you can bust a nut so fat you can leave this world behind. Granted, that last one's a little silly, but the sex can be that good sometimes.
Oh yeah. Well, that I would know.
But with the HoloOnes, what are you guys trying to achieve? And we didn't talk about this until now. Now, with the cliques, Kyle, they're spread by cities. And there was talk in this book where they said they were going to take the fight to technocracy and reestablish themselves as an actual presence. And then they immediately follow that with saying that the city cliques don't talk with each other.
Then how the fuck do you expect to put on a unified front against something?
That's the thing.
Yeah. It's
That's
some bullshit.
the thing. So what are we even doing with these guys? You didn't have content to make a tradition book with.
It's just complete performative nonsense. That's all the Hollow Ones do. And if you do have a Hollow One in your game, it should be about getting them to get off of their ass and pick a real fucking tradition.
Well, that's the thing with the goth culture, but I mentioned that before, and how that was becoming emo, is because the sand was slipping through the fingers of the goths, where it was starting to go to emo to scene kids. The goths were clinging on for dear life, saying, "Please don't leave me. No, I'm still relevant. I'm still important." And then you got this big focus on goth shit with some stuff in Vampire the Masquerade, especially some stuff in Wraith the Oblivion, and then it bled into Mage. Now, thankfully, Werewolf steered clear of it. Thankfully, that shit never touched Werewolf.
Yes.
And then changing by design, like the Sluwa existed, but that was the only one you could do it with. But this is just the goths trying to cling onto their own relevancy, and their time's over.
Yeah.
It's gone.
There's no reason to be a nihilist anymore.
The same with the Flappers in the 1920s, the same with the Greasers in the 1950s, the same with the Beatniks in the 1960s. You're only going to have so much time in this world to really be your own subculture, and then when your time is up, it's up. And the thing you want to do is that you want to say goodbye to who you used to be gracefully and become a new you in the next stage of your life. Yeah. That's the whole thing. Like the Bible says, it's in it. There's a time and place for multiple stages of your life.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
I keep referencing the movie, but only because, like, now that I'm, like, 27 and I've got my life together and I still have, like, a little bit of that rock and roll wanderlust in me. But,
Trainspotting.
Not Trainspotting.
I thought you were Trainspotting.
It was actually Sean who recommended me that movie, but SLC Punk. At the end of the day, we're all just fucking posers. Mm-hmm. And, at the end of that movie is, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't watched it, is that Matthew Lillard plays Steve-O. His best friend, Heroin Bob, who's never done any narcotics in his life, was actually, like, afraid of needles, dies of a drug overdose because he just grabbed a handful of pills out of somebody's hand and washed it down with whiskey, and he fucking died in his sleep. And so it was right after that, Steve was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go to Harvard like my dad said, go to law school, and just move on with my life. This chapter of my life is over. And it wasn't graceful, but he came to, the realization that he'd been pondering with since the start of the film. And it honestly was a very bittersweet ending, but I think it is the one that a lot of us arrive at when moving past a stage in our life.
When you are too beholden to an idea, when that idea loses relevancy, you lose relevancy with it. And that's the thing with this Hollow Ones book. I know War of Darkness is a period piece. It is nerd and goth and leftist culture in the 90s and 2000s, and I kind of love it because of that. This was back when
leftists, not modern leftists.
This was the left that I wanted to be a part of, and now it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
it's gone. But you know what? Times change, and change is scary, but stuff needs to change anyway, or else you're living in a world of stagnation and entropy, which is not a good thing to have. So when I look through this, it's just really unimpressive, and maybe I would have been more charitable to it if this was, say, 2006, and we were looking back at it with rose-tinted glasses because it just ended. But in 2026, the Hollow Ones just don't really come across to. I see them as your wild card idea. If none of the traditions click with you, this is what you go with. And part of the reason why we're making this video, by the way, Kyle, is that in that Tuesday Mage game, JoJo knows about this guy. Sam, who drew all the pictures for our D&D characters in Spelljammer, by the way, is playing a Hollow One in that game. Now, I was making this video to really try to have the intention of helping them find out how to be a Hollow One, only to look through this book and realize that wasn't going to happen.
Right. So it's more like now that the point is to try and get him to try and find a way through this tradition.
So I'm telling Sam that, from what we remembered from Outcast Pariahs, that nihilism is your power. His character is a passive nihilist because he believes that life has no consequence. It's what gives him power. And because of that, he's arguably the strongest character that we have in the party and at character creation. But I did warn him that as the game was going to go on, he was going to be less of the star of the show and more like a crutch character. That the other players were going to surpass him in magical power, and he knew that, and he was okay with it.
And honestly, you know what? That's a very graceful way to play that. So props to him for that.
Sim, he's one of those players of Roll20 that you are lucky to find. You are lucky to find a guy like that. It's like Rapid, right? And when we struck fucking gold with Rapid finding him on Roll20.
Yeah,
you
we
know
really
what?
did.
Yeah.
I think I just realized what the goal of Ascension is for the Hollow Ones.
You found it?
I realized what it is. It's getting over yourself.
That's the thing.
Realizing you're fake and gay and cringe and shedding the whole nihilistic thing and accepting yourself.
Get a job.
That
Pull up your
is the
pants.
Ascension plan for the Hollow Ones.
Find Jesus.
And then join the Celestial Chorus.
That's all you gotta do.
I'm the Lord.
And then your other foci in here too are clothes and tattoos and jewelry, specifically black jewelry, and symbolic trinkets like skulls and like other like Halloween shit.
It seems a very performative foci.
Yes, it's superficial. It's stupid. It's stupid in the same way that the Verbena were stupid.
If these guys were at least a little more fun, we could have had a sort of 10th tradition of mage circus clowns.
Yes.
That would have been fucking awesome.
That would have been interesting.
We could have had that. Like, you remember when we were going through the Bonarch book? They're bringing up that they spoke with the Hollow Ones, and that the Hollow Ones had a spell where they took Pepsi, drank it, and then spat on you with the Pepsi, and it healed you. Where's that? Where's that in this book?
I don't know.
Can I have Coke, please? No, Coke is too mainstream.
We have our vegan probiotic Pepsi here.
It's an RC Cola.
Royal Crown. That's how you know it's a Hollow One.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's an off-brand
What's there
soda.
to say, like, again, this is just devolving into the verbatim video again. We've reached a bit where it's just, how are we fixing this shit?
Well, I can tell you that we go on roads as well, and we have alley vanish, where you just go into an alleyway, you disappear. Being invisible, which is exactly what it says. Bum $1, where just money will fall into your pocket. Cool glamour, where you just look cool, and that's all the spell is. It just increases your appearance score, basically.
What?
Crowd surfing, where a bunch of people will just pick you up and move you from point A to point B.
These are just a bunch of, like, mind to, forces to, spirit to, correspondence to fucking spells. None of these are interesting.
Most because the Hollow Ones just steal what they can from the other traditions and use it because it fits their aesthetics, not because it's useful.
And then there's something here too about necromancy, and you're thinking for a second, like, oh, do we finally have a zombie mage? No. It's like fucking Talk to Me, that movie.
I don't even remember.
That's
what that
the kind of
movie
necromancy it is. Come and talk to me. I really
you're a goth mommy necromancer?
Well, not exactly. I mostly just lay around, smoke weed, and talk to, like, people that aren't really there.
Can I talk to you?
You're
This shit is so bad. So bad. I've devolved to the cult of ecstasy. I'm fucking snorting coke this second.
This.
Allegedly, YouTube, he's not really doing that.
I'm snorting coke from the dollar store that's off-brand.
And then, by the way, fucking Kyle, like, speaking of Talk to Me, by the way,
Yes.
If you remember that movie, there's the poster of it.
I don't.
If you want to talk about
movie.
not being able to let shit go, this is relevant to the conversation.
Well, I mean, I don't remember the movie very well, so like
The whole plot of the movie is that the conflict happens because you can't let go of your dead relative. That's the thing. Because you won't let go of the past, it's dragging you down, and it's this whole like goth image that's fucking derailing the Hollow Ones. Because this was a very of its time idea that doesn't stand the test of time like the other traditions do. Like, even the Verbena have more relevancy than these guys.
yeah,
That's
put an
another
environmental
issue
spin
with the
on it,
Hollow
and
One.
there you go. But just believing that there isn't a purpose to anything. It just doesn't. It doesn't form any sort of cohesion. It doesn't.
If you want to know how boring playing a Hollow One is, they bring up neuromancy, the power of going to sleep.
Damn, that sounds like what I'm gonna do after we finish this video.
Yeah, you just fucking fall asleep and then you cast magic in your fucking dreams, and that's it.
Damn, son, these guys got that melatonin magic.
And then I was listening to Mage the podcast to make sure I didn't repeat any of their talking points. And then I bring up too, there's no Horizon realms for the Hollow Ones. Don't ever bring that up. The Horizon is infinite fucking space. You're telling me that these guys don't have a template for what they would look like?
Well, no, because they don't believe in anything.
No.
No, Donnie, these guys are nihilists. They're harmless.
And that's the whole fucking shit.
We were gonna totally make our own Horizon Road, but that's too much work and all that, so we just don't really bother.
And if you want to talk about hated characters in World of Darkness JoJo, we have Neville Nevermore.
The pretentiousness in my room just went up 5 octaves.
It's just the asshole from this book, the Hollow Ones book,
because
I couldn't get to him.
Now, in the Outcast book, this man was told to shut the fuck up by the real narrator for derailing the whole plot. And this is what it is. He's the guy who codified what being called a Hollow Man is, because he quoted the T.S. Eliot poem to a Technocrat member. And then he's just here, and that's his one accomplishment. He named the group, and that's it.
Wow.
That's it.
You named the treehouse. Fucking big whoop.
That's it. And then we got characters like Penny Dreadful and Josefa de Esperanza, and she looks like
she's going to give you the wildest night of sex of your life. Then
she looks like a child. She looks swollen the way she's drawn.
Yeah, she does look funky.
If I could swallow a bee, and that's what she looks like.
Oh,
guys, is this AI? It was drawn in 1957.
My brain is fried right now. It's getting baked.
And then, what the fuck else is here? Let's like Mia Minuet, and you can tell from these guys' names just how fucking serious they take themselves.
They're all pretentious as shit.
Every single one.
So disappointing. Just this dying, going to heaven, and finding Jesus Christ smoking crack, Hitler, Stalin, Mao Zedong, and fucking Genghis Khan playing poker.
And then there's a whole ship of persons too, and they say, well, no, I'm gonna say, because there's entire factions and cliques where they work with the other supernaturals. I think you can put together for yourself what they think, and that is, it's all opinionated. There is no unified
consensus
take on any of them.
Ironically enough, for some reason, I wanted to bring this up earlier. This is another issue I find with the Hollow Ones. They're too much of a Western tradition, for a lack of a better word. You can't think of a Chinese Hollow One.
How is this applied to Asia anyway? And that's,
how do you apply this to Africa? Latin America?
Now that is an issue with a lot of World Darkness stuff, is that it was very American-centric and very Eurocentric. But
yeah, I don't think you're going to find any Goths in Africa. I think they have actual problems.
But there was a whole thing.
Nihilism, anything.
I know you're working with just a library in Chicago, and that's all you really had to work with. You didn't have any books on Asia, Africa, or South America that are worth a fuck. In the internet, I feel like it is bad faith to call White Wolf racist, because guys, they just did not have the access to information that you do. You need to take that to heart.
Yeah, that's true. At the same time, you got Mr. Theo Bell on the prowl.
And then we have in the same Tuesday game, the Akashic Brotherhood can apply to other cultures as well, because JoJo in that same Mage game, we have a white boxer Akashic Brother as a party member.
Exactly. This is an issue even with other splats. You don't need to worry about this vampire, for example, here. It's the reason why I don't care for Kuei Jin. You could just take all the stuff from the original clans and plug it in Asia. You have so many unique ideas with those virgin clans.
Now, granted, with the Kuei Jin, I'm not worried about them because the Kuei Jin are so weak mechanically.
It's because their fucking shadow screws them beyond belief.
It's because you just need celerity and you can fold them. That's all you need.
Oh, don't they have like Temu brand celerity? They just nerfed it because it was fucking
not
too
even
OP.
that. Not even that. I think Equation can only actually that's it.
The fuck? Okay, I have to reread Quajan. Either way, like, you get my point here. Even with Werewolf, you can hypothetically kit bash the Fianna to work in any culture. Sure. Because they're storytellers, in the people that preserve
unit.
Culture.
The family unit.
Yeah, that works universally.
Yes.
You can have a Latin American Shadow Lord. You can hypothetically have a Middle Eastern Utena. And that all works! The fuck do you do with the Hollow one?
Well, this is also the thing I bring up about Royalty Apocalypse, because a bad faith idea I see as well is that while there were two things about Werewolf that has aged poorly, it's not the Gift of Fenris. That's not what I'm about to say. It is the Black Furies and Fianna have aged poorly in terms of Royalty Apocalypse. I'm going to explain that. The reason why we fit with the Black Furies is because of the whole feminist angle, where you do have a Greek leaning with the Black Furies, with the Amazons and the Artemis camp, for example.
Yes.
But feminism, even during that period of the late 90s, was beginning to very swiftly exit conversation. Because you did have late 90s chick rock, but by 2004, like 2001, we weren't really talking about feminism anymore. We were talking about 9/11.
Yep.
And global politics and about control, and my fellow leftists trying to push back against it. But then if you spoke out against it, you got Dixie chicks and you got deplatformed. And that's what the conversation became. And now in 2024, we were asking, what is a woman? And now it kind of feels like the Black Furies are like struggling for relevancy. Like even the Mind's Eye Theater guide that was written during this time, written back in the 2000s, was starting to look at the Black Furies and they were saying to themselves, hey, we're not really sure if this really should be a tribe anymore. And they said that the freebooters were beginning to bring in male members. Like we're recruiting male members from other tribes to bring into the freebooters. Because feminism was starting to lose its relevancy as a conversation topic. Now, ironic that in 10 years it'd spring because of guys like people like Aeneas Sarkeesian and Gamergate. But now, 10 years later, it's lost relevancy again. And with the Fianna, it was because of the whole IRA subplot, Kyle, with the Fianna.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Troubles ended in 97, so that, like, kind of...
Well, no, Kyle, it's because 9/11 happened.
So it's all 9/11's fault.
And suddenly, terrorism was not really a dashing thing to do anymore after that happened.
It's all the Saudis' fault.
So those are two things about Werewolf that has generally aged poorly. But even then, for a lot of these tribes, the cultural background was more of like a flavor. But when you looked further into it, there was more stuff going on about it. The Black Furies is still like the whole feminist shit, but the divine aspect of a woman is also an aspect to the Black Furies that I really like and really do respect. Because it's not just my rights as a woman, kill all men. It's the woman has a divine role in the human race and human history and in all of nature and needs to be respected.
Yes.
With the Gift of Fenris, it was the valor and courage of the Gift of Fenris. With the Fianna, it was the family unit. With the Shellords, it was control. With the Surfangs, it was lineage, prestige, and respect and sovereignty. With the Ictena, it was... Well, it kind of was a cultural thing, too, but the Ictena had a lot of, like, black magic going on in the background as well to make them appealing.
Yes.
And they were the ultra-pragmatist tribe that used everything as a resource.
And with the Wendigo, it was generational weight. Am I as good as the previous generation with the Wendigo? Which is why I still really like the Wendigo, even though they've fallen off your eyes, Kyle.
I mean, a little bit, yeah, and, you know, I when we first started talking about Werewolf, like, the Wendigo were like, damn, these guys got some really cool powers, I'd love to talk to them, but the more that we talk about them, and I hate isolationists who complain about literally everybody else and then refuse to do anything about it, like, what the fuck? Why would you spend all this time complaining and not doing?
But
that's the reason I like the Fianna. Yeah, they've lost everything. They're down on their knees, but they are not giving up without a fight.
But then you started to lose sight of that with Mage. Now, Grant, I think Werewolf the Forsaken took a coward's way out. by getting rid of that cultural background entirely, because every faction in World of Forsaken looks, plays, and fundamentally is the exact same fucking thing. I have zero desire to ever do an episode of World of Forsaken. We're not doing it with this channel.
No.
Requiem, maybe. Awakening, maybe. Geist, maybe. Forsaken, not going to happen.
Orpheus?
Well, we did an episode on Orpheus.
Oh shit, I must have missed that one. My bad.
But with Mage Ascension, though, you started to go on rocky ground because the Celestial Chorus was mostly Christian stuff, but you could also say, well, it's monotheism. Okay, that works. You then go into the Cult of Ecstasy. Okay, drunks aren't really seen that way in every culture, which is why M20 does this whole Sahajiya shit that I don't believe in, and I don't think you really looked that deep into it. Because I don't think you really knew what a Sahajiya was. It is a Hinduist heretic, and you are made into a social pariah that cannot interact in polite society in India if you're deemed as one. How does the Wheel of Ages apply to a Western society? How does a lot of shit involving the Order of Hermes apply to an Eastern society? And then you begin to see why Mage Ascension, if you really take a deep look into it, has a lot of issues that no other game in the World of Darkness has. And I like Mage. I still really do like Mage. I'm not running a Mage Chronicle to shit on it on Tuesdays, because I see where Mage Ascension could go as a story, and I'm running a session with Mage Ascension, because that game was supposed to be a vampire game, but I'm the guy who suggested that we do Mage instead after they told me what exact kind of game they wanted to play. But the Hollow Ones are the big issue here, because how does being goth apply to anyone outside of America or Europe?
Let alone outside of the 90s.
Now, granted, you were doing so well before with the existential nihilist idea, because existentialism is not a unique idea to any one society. That is a question that we all have. Why are we here, and what are we supposed to do with our lives? Instead, you abandon the idea to go goth subculture shit because you could not let that shit go. And now we're here.
Yep. And the tradition's just a bunch of bullshit now because of it.
With a very unsatisfying book that would then spell a bad habit for what we would see later in M20, where the New World Order completely lost their identity in favor of social politics, political correction, because why the fuck does it matter if you have women in NWO or not? Just get the job fucking done. It does not matter. Which is why we started having loss of identity with Iteration X. We had a complete loss of identity with the Euthanatos, which became a faction about fucking nonsense. And the Verbena, which completely abandoned anything about paganism and Druidism in favor of a nonsense feminist angle that was already out of the conversation 10 years ago, dude.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't the 9 traditions that defeated the technocracy. It was the HR department.
It was DEI that defeated the NWO. I shit you not. That's what's in the book.
That's just...
It's true. I've gone through the book.
And we have a whole Dice Clam episode where Adam got so fucking pissed he threw like 6 or 7 ball caps that has screen over it. Which is what it is, because once again, David Hill has no fucking talent. He became a woman over how he had no fucking talent. But going
Johnny, that's racist.
Yeah,
I don't know if that. God damn it!
There it is. Kyle wants to piss on the third rail, not be apologetic about it too. And now we have the pre-made characters, where we have the Gentle Giant, where we have a whole character whose whole rise to ascension is, they called me fat in high school and that gave me power.
Wait,
and that's
what?
It. That's her whole thing. She got bullied for being fat, and it made her a mage.
Giant Jim, how do you get your power?
They made fun of me in school because I have
the whole
a
thing.
fat ass.
That's the whole thing.
It literally says in the book, you're just big boned. Okay, Eric Cartman.
Yeah, I'm just big boned.
I'm
Kyle,
not
if you
fat.
saw the
I'm big boned.
Kyle, if you saw Kyle, if you saw the plus-sized mage, how fast would you have an orgasm?
Is she an ecstatic?
Yeah. No, she's a whole one.
What's the
Is there
opposite
such-
of an orgasm?
I think it's like a convulsive fit.
The problem is that like
my balls retract into my body like
your
a
penis
fucking
retracts back to your
reptile.
body like a turtle.
well, the
Like
problem
a-
is that like if she's
Great.
overweight
Now
and
you
it's the
scared him.
if it's overweight and it's the world of darkness, she could be a burger man.
It could be that.
Good.
Let's see. I feel like it'll be
I am a
appropriate. with
worm
this.
in human skin.
Now, please do not play the Spotify link. I'll have to immediately. No.
No, shit. I'll talk over it.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, I mean, so-
okay.
Well, there it is. I don't know what Jackie Music did, but now like any and all covers of a song are immediately replaced by a Spotify link. I was going to have pumped up kicks midnight in the background, but for this, but no. We now have the anonymous benefactor, where I think this is a guy who's like LARPing as Charles Dickens and thinks he's a great American writer. You're not.
The anonymous benefactor.
Rise and shine, Dr. Freeman.
He has 4 points of resources.
That won't work. It's too interesting.
It's the money mage build, and that's ultimately what this is. It's
You're a rat one mage. You're a fraud. Why do you have time 3?
You can't cast those spells. You can't cast them.
What the fuck is this build?
So
Whoa.
he's got 4 resources, and he does that because he's using the time sphere to manipulate the stock market.
Why did you dump the avatar background if you're going to have 3 points in time?
Because money.
It doesn't make any sense.
This dude is basically just a fucking syndicate plant.
That's all it is.
Exactly.
He's supposed to be an artist with no points in expression. How do you do this? Who hurt you?
I think if you're going to play a hollow one, you should have at least 2 to 3 dots in expression.
You now have the Gemini twins, where you now have a brother and sister who are biologically related that share the same avatar, and because of that, they want to fuck each other and fuse to become hermaphrodite.
That's kind of fucked up and disgusting.
Well, here got like a more fucked up version of the plot of the cop on Indian Melee.
There it is.
That played at the perfect time.
Yes. Kyle, if there was a female version of yourself, would you fuck yourself?
No.
No.
You already fucked yourself. Just add the extra step.
You gotta go to that VR porn room.
Pull this up. And now I can only think of like that video where it's like bro on the 1st of January every year.
Yeah.
And he like puts the fucking fleshlight between the cushions of the couch and puts on the VR headset.
It could give you a decent Hollow Ones concept of Andrew or Ashley, but this is awful.
And you have the curious
Andrew and
corner.
Ashley would make fun of these guys.
Where it's
elementary, my dear Watson.
It's the guy who gets Tim Burton's character costumes. That's ultimately what his character is.
Tim Burton has your number. What?
What are these builds?
Yeah, you see how we've completely lost focus of the Hollow Ones.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement to make.
What are these
Fuck
characters?
Tim Burton.
Who are you people?
That's ultimately what this is. The wise flake, where I couldn't even fucking tell you what this is.
I don't know either.
What is this? Why is it 3 points in correspondence? You're a red 2 mage.
This is like a character art from Cyberpunk 2020.
Not very good.
Shit! This video's actually pissing me off.
What are we trying to do with this outfit, by the way?
I don't know.
You have no pants. You have boots that come out to your knees. You have this shirt, and you have like is the snake real or
I think that's a real snake.
Okay, why is it around your neck then?
Mask on and a what?
Is that a mask or is that sunglasses?
I think they're like the big pull. No, they're like ski masks. Like ski goggles, something like that.
But what? No, none of this makes sense. All of this is shit.
God, this remind me of this. I remember seeing this video, this whole street performer that brought a boa constrictor to perform with, and he just wraps the boa constrictor around his fucking neck, and then of course the snake constricts him and he falls over.
Now, as you can see,
I would tip him for that. That's funny as shit.
Choking me. He's a little slowly restricting my airflow in my throat, but it's okay.
It's a boa constrictor. It's constricting you.
I would leave him a tip for that. I would laugh my ass off. That'd be really funny.
Constrictor
Somebody call 911.
For my next trigger, I'm going to get choked up by the snake.
Can you choke me? I'm going to be better than this book.
You used a mind spell to convince a snake to autoerotic yourself.
Choke me harder, Daddy.
You get the snake to choke you, and then you do what you do with your two hands.
Jesus Christ!
It doesn't even work.
Speaking of weird fucky shit, there's the freak.
The freak who is just a Cenobite.
You freakaboo.
You know,
that's all it is.
Wasn't this a Freakfoot character in Midnight Circus?
I think so, but also, why aren't you a member of the Cult of Ecstasy?
I don't know.
If you're this is an ecstatic. If your powers come from you giving yourself pleasure, you are an ecstatic.
Yeah. This guy just walks in.
We have such sights to show you.
What even is this fit?
And also, I'd like to
under your nose.
Also,
got nipple piercings.
I would like to point out the blatant glorification of self-harm in this character.
Yes.
No.
The whole thing here, like, you realize just how many bad ideas are in this book.
Yeah, this eclipse is just poor writing. This is just gross.
This is just a terrible idea. This is up there with the Ghouls Fail Addiction character of the ghoul woman who fucks her dogs.
Yeah,
the revenant girl.
It's just disgusting.
Well, granted, every white woman does that at some point in their lives.
It's always, if they haven't, it's certainly crossed their mind at least once. They've looked at the peanut butter jar longingly.
One mage. What's even a ret one mage? You're not a wizard.
You then have the tragic heroine who is this insane BPD bitch who takes herself too seriously, and that's your character.
Wait, scratch that. Back it up to the fucking freak. How does this man have 1 Arete, 3 in life, and 2 in prime? He should not be able to do that.
You can't cast those spells. You can't cast them.
They literally can't.
No.
This fucking bitch, too, the tragic heroine, 1 Arete, 3 in forces, 1 in prime, 2 in spirits. You're fucking useless.
Like, when you were making these sheets, you knew how to play mage, right?
I don't think they did.
Yeah.
Wait, you need to know how to play mage?
Don't read her own. Remember.
We then have the tragic heroine who has, once again, 1 dot in Ret, 3 dots in forces, so she has all these different spells that, once again, she can't cast. You at least
what's the rest of this?
You at least have like
Open's academics.
You have at least a point in prime, like spirits. Okay, so I guess you know that the fucking gauntlet exists, but
yeah,
does this really combine with the character concept?
It certainly does not.
Her whole thing is that
the character sheet, you should be able to know what type of person this is. I can't ascertain any data from this.
She's moody, she hates men, and she's vegan, and that's her character.
Then go join the fucking Black Furies.
I told us from this character sheet. The nature and demeanor don't even line up.
And that's it. And then next is the Reality Warrior, where this is just a guy who, it's like, if this was written in modern day, this would be a guy who's on OnlyFans.
He looks like one of the NPCs you'd find in Bloodlines 1 when you go into, like, the goth club.
Oh, definitely.
It is. Like, you're in a mesh shirt and like your tits are out. And it says...
credit where it's due, this guy can actually use his magic.
He actually can. This is a sheet that's built right.
With his 2 level 2 spears.
And corresponds in forces. You can do a lot with that.
Absolutely. People talk shit about level 1 magic. You can do a lot with that.
And level 2, by that point, your storyteller's going to start struggling if you really get creative with it. But now but this guy who watched The Matrix, and he's convinced that he's Neo from The Matrix when no, you're a cam boy and you jack off on camera.
Yeah, he's fucking Eddie Adams from Boogie Nights.
That's the whole thing.
He's Dirk Diggler.
And then that's the actual book. We're now out of content in the book.
You ran out of it.
So we can now close the book and we can talk about, how could we actually make this not suck? Let's go back to existentialist angle.
Yeah. Let's go back to that.
Kyle, how much do you know about existentialism in terms of philosophy?
Honestly, I don't read a whole lot of philosophy.
Now, you of course know who Friedrich Nietzsche is.
Yeah, I know who Nietzsche is.
Now, you know how misunderstood Nietzsche is because people want to cling on to God is dead and we killed him and completely misinterpret what he means by that.
No, it's if I remember what we talked about earlier about it, it's that, if God is dead, we need to find a way to, either bring God back or replace God with some sort of moral backing, or it's going to kill us.
He's ultimately referring to society as a whole because we stopped being focused on the church and the importance of God in our lives with our generation. And now we have nothing to replace it. So unless we find something to replace it with, which should have been God itself, but because you don't want to do that, it's got to be something else. But if you don't find something to be the center and moral backbone of your life is going to be pissed down the drain, ultimately, which is what we're seeing today.
Actually, to be fair, I have seen like a really large resurgence in Christianity in the release years.
Generation Z is the most religiously leaning generation in American history.
Yeah. Well, it's because they saw how fucking godless their fathers and grandfathers were. They thought, I don't want to be cringe and gay, so I think we're going to go this way.
Profound hatred of millennials that pushed us towards this.
Yes, rightly so, because we saw what they were doing without God, and it disgusted us.
It's the whole thing, and now
disgusted us. I'm pretty sure we're all the same age.
And the iGens begin to go down the same path because the iGens begin to realize that their entire future has been stolen from them.
Yep, basically.
And now we're looking at people that are trying to bring God back into their focus. But Generation X, the baby boomers, and the silent generation and the millennials never came to this conclusion, which is why Friedrich Nietzsche said this was a bad thing, not a good thing that we did this.
Yep.
Ultimately. And Kyle, you knew when you were talking with me that this might be a little bit TMI, but I've been drinking. I'm going. I talked about this a few times where I've gone over this with Eden. I've had to go over this multiple times with Metro, and he just won't get it. And I mentioned this to you before, JoJo, but when I was in school, when I was in high school, I used to be way spurgier than I am now. I feel like it's gone. It's still there, but I recognize what it is. I know not to overshare. I know not to get super emotional. I know not to let my emotions run away from me now. And that's a behavior that I've had to learn the hard way. And this isn't something I really came to grips with until I'm 27 now. It wasn't until when I was 23 that I put this to bed, really.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with this kind of behavior, is that for a while, with me being a spurg and like nobody wanted to be around me, it made me, of course, super depressed. And for a while, it was like 12 years I was fighting with myself whether or not I wanted to keep living. And I ultimately decided, yes, I went over that in my character corner. But looking back at myself now, I look at myself and I thought to myself, dog, if you were like my past self, if I was looking at you from across the room, dog, I believe you too. Like, no wonder why nobody wanted to be around you, you fucking idiot. And so I had to learn how to get around that. But I came to the wrong conclusion the first time. Because what I did is I ultimately made a persona around myself, and I went to the worst possible person to make that persona off of, Dick Masterson. Where, JoJo, you're asking me now, who? And yeah, that man has completely lost all relevancy today. He's making like $187 off of Patreon a month, ultimately.
I don't even remember who Dick Masterson is.
Yeah, the highlight of that man's life was that he made a Pizza Hut commercial. And that was it. But he was the guy that I watched way back when he started blowing up off of Dr. Phil that I used as the blueprints to make a persona for myself. The thing is that I didn't realize where that was going to get me, which is why that nobody I talked to when I was in high school still talks to me today. And if I were to attend a reunion, I don't think anyone would want anything to do with me because of what I did when I was in high school. I was just like that kind of guy where I just had this very hateful, aggressive vibe where nobody wanted to be around me. And there were days where Kyle would just struggle to be around me because there would be days where that anger would boil over and reach him. I didn't learn to put this to bed until after Kyle remembers this, the whole issue we had with Rashid.
Yeah, that was like
Middle
the
Eastern
major.
side.
Yeah, and where I told JoJo a little bit about that story. I didn't tell him all the details, but he knows about it.
It was a very long and convoluted fight that ended up in a whole lot. I tried to just keep them separate, but then we kept interacting. We tried to reconvene. It
was a story where I realized what the scorpion and the toad myth was supposed to be. The scorpion stung me. Well, yeah, it was because it was in the scorpion's nature to do so. And that's something I had to learn.
Right.
You can't just expect somebody to be nice to you because you're being nice back, or you're trying to make an effort to bury the hatchet. Some people just won't let this shit go.
Some people are just vindictive.
But that was what I had to realize, because I realized that the persona I was making was hurting you. And the reason why I stopped doing that is because I realized that you were the one person at that time that I gave a fuck about. And I saw what I was doing to you, and that's when I realized I had to let that go.
I mean, I try to avoid drama like the plague, and even if I do happen across it, I'm under the impression that people will want to try to sort things out, but I figured I could try and patch things up, and it did not work out. But
when that happened, we had that big conversation over the phone with each other. Like, the crushing guilt of who I was for the past 4 years all came in and landed on my shoulders at one time. And I was not doing good during that period. I don't want to talk about it on camera because I'm not really on the show, but it was then I really started having conversations with myself. Do I still want to be here? And in those conversations, what just so happened is that I was still going to college around that time, and I ended up doing a class specifically about philosophy, but it turns out what we focused on the most with philosophy was pragmatism and existentialism is what we focused on. And through those readings, I started looking through, I never did this with any of my other college textbooks. I read that whole textbook being the end of what he recommended for us. And it led me to looking up other different existentialists out there. And Kyle, the guy I discovered that really made me decide that, yes, I still want to keep living, was Albert Camus. Or Camus, depending on how you want to say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Where, will anything I do in my life really come to anything? Will anything I accomplish really go anywhere? Maybe. I can't really decide that. Am I going to have a legacy? I can't really control that now, can I? But as long as I'm here, I have two options. I can either keep living and stuff will happen, or I can die and then nothing happens. And I can't go from dying to living. So because I can't do that, I should keep living, because that's the only option I have that I can change. I can't change being dead. And because of that, I talked myself off of a ledge, and I'm still here doing this. And a few years later, I finally put those feelings to bed, and I'm still here, and I enjoy being here now.
And that's good. That's a lot of growth that you went through in order to get there. Yeah. And so, good.
That's the kind of shit that you would expect to see in the Hollow Ones now, wouldn't you? The whole stick nihilism.
That sounds like something it should be.
See.
And that's the whole thing.
Instead, we get fucking goth boy and goth girl, and that's it.
Instead, we
and
just
not even hot goth boy and goth girl.
Sorry if my brain's all fried right now. I wanted to say something insightful. Like, the whole purpose of the Hollow One's paradigm should be self-understanding of oneself, and that bringing you closer to the world. Because they had an idea with art and trying to find beauty in all things. They had a good idea with internal nihilism and realizing you give life its own purpose. You are the master of your own fate, and take that in your own hands. Find beauty in the world and all things around you. That should be the conventional paradigm.
I feel like that's
beautiful.
It's a very neckbeard thing to say that you get your wisdom from video games. I feel like it's okay to do that. But there is media out there that does make an impact on you.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle, you're not really following Chainsaw Man like this, so let me just go ahead and reveal the scene to you. You know who Denji and Makima are.
Well, yeah.
So there's a whole scene in the Reze arc, or the Reze movie, where Denji finally gets a date with Makima, and that's why he's been waiting for this entire time. And the whole date is I'm going to meet you outside of a movie theater at 10 o'clock in the morning. And we're going to watch movies until 8 o'clock at night. Does that sound like a good date to you?
Probably
Yes.
not. You don't get to communicate.
Well, you get to talk between movies is what ultimately happens.
Hmm.
But kind of like what you said, Kyle, that also gives like insight as to who Makima is as a person. But they're watching all these different movies, and Denji's kind of thinking like, you know what? I'm not really having like the same reaction to these comedies or these action movies as everyone else. This movie isn't funny. This movie's kind of stupid. That kind of shit. And so he's talking with Makima between these movies and saying, was I right to really think this? And Makima says, oh no, I thought the movie was pretty dumb too. And then they have this whole bit back and forth where they're reviewing the different movies after they see them, and finally they get to one movie where I'm feeling my eyes well up talking about this, Kyle, because this is when I really decided that Chainsaw Man was something that I want to keep reading. I'll put the picture up on screen. There's a scene where Denji and Makima are watching the last movie by themselves. And this panel just posted up in studio notes. They see this on screen. Just a scene where a guy comes home from like what you presume would be a war. There's an old woman sweeping leaves outside with a broom. She looks at him, and then he just walks over, and she just hugs onto him. And there's no dialogue in the movie adaptation. They just embrace. And Denji sees this, and all of a sudden he just feels these tears just well up behind his eyes. So you think, oh fuck, oh shit, I'm crying on my date with Makima. I look like an idiot right now. I really hope she doesn't see me. This scene isn't even that sad. And then Kyle, this is on the next page. This.
I think I do remember you showing me this, and that is a very like touching piece of art right there.
It's everything about this, where it's a whole scene where I am pointing off of Super Eye Patch Wolf that shows that art and media does have an emotional and valuable impact on us as people in our lives. That these kind of stories do matter and can help us realize things about ourselves that we wouldn't know from anyone else. And it says so much about Makima as a character, where, skip ahead 10 seconds if you don't want this revealed, because of who she is by her nature, she can never have the relationship that she sees on screen, and it tears her up knowing that because of who she is, she can never have that. And it says so much about her character. And this is why I say that Makima, in terms of like villains, is probably one of the best I've ever seen. Just in fiction, period. Does that absolve her of anything she's done? No. But you can see where she's coming from as a character because of that.
Yes. Yeah. It adds a level of human sympathy that you otherwise wouldn't get for a villain.
Yeah. And when you get around to what I was referring to this to, Nier Automata was a game that's all about existentialism. And in Nier Automata, everything about it, were like even down to the characters themselves were named after existentialist philosophers and nihilists that all have different published works. Where ultimately the game's side quests are all themed around characters that dedicate themselves to one thing and one thing only, and then either the goal doesn't go the way they thought it would, or they do accomplish the goal, and then the character explodes after you do the quest. That was it. That's all they had to live for, and now the thing they have to live for is over, they die. And that's it. Where you have a martial artist character that wanted to get strong, and then he dies. You have a character you beat in a race, he dies. You have a character that wanted to do a peace march, he dies. And then it goes to show what the whole thing is. You can't just live for one thing. Because what are you going to do when you accomplish that goal, or if that goal is taken away from you? Once again, if you are too beholden to an idea, when that idea is gone, you will go down with it. You can't just do that with yourself.
This sounds like some Darth Kraya shit right now.
And ultimately, what the point behind Nier Automata was is that if you lived your entire life for a purpose that turned out to be a lie, did your life still have value? What did you do with yourself? And Nier Automata says, you know what? If you lived your entire life for a lie, that's fine. Because you were still doing something that you believed in and you were pushing for it. But after you realize it was a lie, then it's still liberating because you get to decide for yourself what life is going to be from that point forward. You don't want to choose death. You want to keep going after you find out the truth behind your life. ultimately. You want to see the gods that controlled your life are meant to die, and then you go off and you either find a new one or you keep going for yourself. That's the point. And that's what the whole one should have been. You decide for yourself what life is going to be. You decide for yourself what consensus is going to be. You're going to push forward. But at the same time, that concept is kind of constrained by Mage Ascension's consensus and quiet mechanics. Because if you go too deep into your own beliefs, that leads to magical mental illness and delusion, where you go into quiet, and then before you know it, you're a marauder.
Yep.
So to speak. But we still could have gone somewhere with this. Because there's not necessarily one kind of nihilist, now, is there?
Oh, yeah.
Storyteller, you say something?
There's a lot of places you could have gone with these guys. It's a massive waste of potential.
Because what I've been talking about this entire time has been existential nihilism up to this point. But you also have moral nihilism, Kyle. Where, Kyle, what is right and wrong?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? It's usually the concept of right and wrong are decided by a number of things. Me personally, well, right's when, well, shit, now I can't even define it now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you shouldn't really have to explain it, you just know it.
Me personally, sorry, could I speak?
Say it.
Yes.
For me personally, I believe every person in the world possesses some limited capability to understand what right and wrong is on an innate level. I believe every person intrinsically wants or has the urging to do something that is what we consider good. Not necessarily charity or doing works, but the abstaining from harming of others. And everyone has that innate understanding to some degree. And through influences in life and your own personal choice, you ignore or supersede that urge to not do the things you accept that are wrong. Almost everyone has a concept of shame, and almost everyone has a concept of remorse. Even Hitler, Stalin felt bad for things that happened to themselves and other people. I believe good is goodness and evil, or what we consider right and wrong, are just innate things that exist in the world, and everything in the world has some understanding of it in some way. And you get to the religious angle, and I'm not going to get into that.
And you get to the whole thing with moral relativism and moral nihilism. Because what is moral in one country isn't necessarily moral. For example, with Iran, there is no real age of consent in Iran. But the law states you must marry the woman you are going to have sex with, which does not necessarily stop anybody from marrying somebody who's, for example, 2.
Doesn't stop them, but at least from my worldview, almost everyone has an understanding, including pedophiles themselves, that shit's wrong. And it takes a group of people to either be deluded in believing it is permissible to agree with that. And that's going against human nature. But again,
and it's nasty because there's nothing like attractive about that. When you look at a kid, you want to defend the kid, you want to nurture the kid. You don't. The healthy human mind doesn't think of this.
No.
Until I realized what it was. It's the defilement and destruction of something beautiful that excites them.
Yeah, I was explaining that to Metro the other day. That's why a pedophile does what it does. It's just the worst form of sadism. If you physically and chemically castrate them, you still want to hurt kids.
They're just going to cause destruction, and that's it.
If that was the case, and we were still going off like the idea of romanticism for the Hollow Ones, I believe that probably the Hollow Ones would be the biggest opponent to the 7th generation.
Yeah, they should be.
Exactly.
They should be. The Hollow Ones sound like goth Toreador. They could have been something inspiring, something to make people believe, yeah, your life is insignificant, but that doesn't mean you should wallow in it. You should rise above it.
We're going to show you what your life should be away from Technocratic Union's control.
We could show you something greater than yourself that you can aspire to be. They're kind of like the gym bros who want to help you out at the gym, and so you can like bulk up a bit. They're not going to be like those fucking 90s dudes that call you a fucking femboy. You should go play with your dolls. They're the ones that are going to like help you spot. You know what? You guys, who here has played Elder Scrolls?
I have.
I have.
Are you familiar with the philosophy of Kim?
Yes.
Basically, I think that's what the Hollow One's ascension protocol could be. Realizing that you are the product, a small, insignificant piece of a much grander, larger tapestry, and still have the wherewithal, the willpower to look at it and say, I am still an individual.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to be wallowing in the nihilism. You are to rise above it.
Mm-hmm. And that could have given you power as well. But with you being a moral authority with this as well, where your ability to decide right from wrong on your own with no outside influence is what gives you power.
We could have had the Mage the Ascension version of what's that guy's name?
Dagoth Ur?
Not Dagoth Ur. That's like the opposite. That's pretty much what I would say would be the Nefandi version of that. I'm talking like his name starts with the V. It's been a while since I've played that game.
Morrowind, yeah.
Yeah, Morrowind.
But Morrowind was a deeper game than a lot of people gave credit for.
Yeah. Everyone's been sucking Morrowind's dick for years. We all know.
Well, that and the HD, or not the, no, Oblivion got remastered recently.
Yeah, Oblivion. Like, just remake Morrowind. That's all I gotta do. People love you for it. You also have Epistemology.
That's his name.
What?
Vivek. The guy that's like half gold, half blue. Ascension for a Hollow One should be becoming Vivek.
You become Vivek Ramaswamy.
No! God damn it, Johnny!
Next up is epistemological nihilism, where does knowledge come from?
Understanding of the world around you and oneself.
Yes.
You remember a certain conversation between Malkav and Set?
Yep, about the nature of truth.
I remember that episode, actually.
Now, usually with Mage Ascension, it is consensus, where reality is agreed upon the masses. You look at something and you say, that's red. Everyone around you also has to say, that's red for it to be red. That's how it works.
Yeah,
but
yes, indeed.
But we'll say with the Hollow One, how about they say that what we think is real is actually just the Pythagoras cave paradox. We're just being shown by reality and consensus what those who control consensus, the Nefandi and the Technocrats, want us to see. There's actually something else out there. And you're trying to break out this mind matrix of consensus and to find something new. And that gives you your magic.
Reality beyond reality.
Yes.
And either the seeing of a brand new one that's never been truly discovered, or the creation of your own one.
And are you probably going to go insane? More than likely, yes. But if you are that person that is a 1 in 1 trillion who finds out the truth, that's a big deal.
The technocracy wants you to live in this saturated world. Think like games from the early 2000s where they're just using bare shades of gray, brown, slightly bits of green. But the Hollow Ones want you to see like a fucking cel-shaded masterpiece. Something beautiful.
Did you know that turkeys can see a color that we can't?
Yes. Lucky
imagine
bastards.
That. That's kind of fucking crazy.
Imagine that and feel your brain bleed thinking about that.
Right? We need to know what the turkeys know.
Yeah. I've been trying to get the answer out of them for years. They won't talk.
Jive turkey? Time to this jive ass turkey not tell me what the color is?
You son of a bitch. Why won't you talk?
I ain't saying nothing.
How about cosmic
You'll
nihilism?
get the answer out of you soon.
How about cosmic nihilism? The universe is indifferent and chaotic. We're all going off of chaos theory. Is there a way you can control the chaos theory and make something of yourself? And possibly become everlasting?
Well, it's very simple. The universe lacks both it lacks both cognition and volition, so it can be neither cruel nor uncaring.
But Kyle, you also noticed with the virtual apps episode that we did that there are patterns that appear in nature multiple times. It seems that nature itself has different shapes that it prefers.
Yes, it does.
The big four being the golden triangle, the golden rectangle, the golden pentagram, and the spiral. Those being the big four.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
one
exists
from
in nature?
JoJo.
And that's the whole thing about that. So maybe there's certain patterns in nature that you can catch on to, modify those into your life, and ascend through that. You go down a direction that the virtual adepts seemingly abandoned for computer science. Thinking.
Yep.
Something that this book didn't seem to do.
Something very natural to most people.
Or political nihilism, where you believe that countries fucking suck and the law shouldn't tell me what to do.
Based.
And then you become Andrew Tate.
Well, no,
Each
that's
person
different.
their own, every
Or
person
where's
their
your
own individual
lesbian wife tells you to
master.
drive at a Minnesota rally, and things escalate from there.
Liberal white women, when told to brake.
Yeah.
Floor it? Yes. No, don't floor it. Floor it? No, don't floor it. Okay, floor it.
Drive, baby, drive! Bang, bang.
And then your lesbian wife leads you to her death. The solution to here, don't marry a woman. They'll kill you.
I think the solution is to not have just... Okay, we're not getting into this conversation.
Don't have a
on this
wife.
episode.
That's the whole solution here.
Be gay like Jenny.
We're known as an LGBT channel, Kyle.
Are we?
Yes,
Oh,
that's
no.
our identity.
It's entirely your fault,
You got
Johnny.
two gay folk here.
We were queer before Lord by Night made a whole video. You see, I didn't have to make a video about that. I just was. I'm comfortable in my skin. I don't have to be performative like you do. And there we are. So, behold, we automatically thought of better ideas than this book did.
Yeah, we're really good at
It's
that.
like,
For-
what?
For chuckle
5
fucks,
seconds?
fucks with barely any. Well, I barely have a formal education. Came up with better ideas than actual writers. Fucking
Yes.
what in the world?
Along with the whole, we didn't even go into like active and passive nihilism, which is creating or succumbing to meaningless. To
That's
meaninglessness.
the Fondyism.
When we have an entire movie about that, actually, it's called The Big Lebowski.
And you know what? It's a great movie, and everybody should watch
It's one of
it.
Kyle's favorites.
I do really love that movie.
I
It's
just
a
watched it
detective
because there was
movie.
titties in it.
It's a detective movie, but you don't think it is.
Yeah, very cleverly disguised mystery movie.
It's a detective story that disguises itself as a stoner movie.
Yep.
What the fuck does this have to do with Vietnam?
It's got everything to do with Vietnam, dude. I love that movie. Like, it's the whole every conversation in that movie, Kyle. It's not the conversation itself, but getting to the conversation makes up half the scene.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like,
You
Donnie, you're
could've
out of your element.
You could have summarized that entire scene was just saying, that guy with the same name as you owes you a rug. You're right. And then the scene could have just ended.
Yeah.
People cut off your Johnson. What? People cut off your Johnson.
You get your house gets broken into by a red hot chili pepper, and he drops a ferret into your bathtub.
Yep.
And that's the whole
Tuesday to me.
thing.
Wait, was that Flea in that scene?
That was Flea, yeah.
Dude, he just like shows up in whatever fucking movie. Like he was in Baby Driver as one of the bank robbers in the second robbery.
He just slides into this. This is the same man that during Woodstock dyed his hair blue and danced with his penis out playing bass guitar.
I mean, if there's one place you could do that, it's Woodstock.
And the aux cord wrapped around his penis while he was throwing a guitar down the ground.
Yeah, it sounds painful.
Yeah.
Flea, what are you doing here? I'm just here to be here, man. Well, are you gonna stick around? Nah.
Yeah, probably.
It-
He's like movie Batman. It's like, thanks, Flea. No, you're welcome, citizen, and then just fucks off.
You would love to just like hang out for a day with Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I don't know. Anthony Kiedis fucked a 16-year-old, so I don't know how I feel about that.
And Anthony Kiedis. Well, what if he's high on meth the entire time?
Probably not. Less so. Matter of fact,
Their
I'd hang out with
was
Flea. Flea seems cool. I don't want to talk to Anthony Kiedis.
Their
I
entire
swear, man,
Woodstock
she
Night
told
Out.
me she was 18.
Their entire Woodstock performance was just held together by their drummer Chad.
Was it?
Yeah, like his drums during that live concert were fucking incredible and held the whole show together.
Well, I mean, that was right before everybody started lighting all the shit on fire and looting everything.
That was the one rock concert where the drummer wasn't the worst part about the show.
I don't know. I mean, like, I've seen quite a few shows, and usually the drummer's like on top of shit.
JoJo, how do you know if a drummer's knocking on your door?
Wow.
The knock is out of time.
But I can't come up with funny shit to say anymore. My brain is... I got too much shit in my system. I cult of ecstasy max.
He consumed the codeine, and now he's gone.
I need to take more.
Really not
I wish it was on that.
Bro couldn't put down a cup.
I think that's a wrap. By the way, I think that's enough.
Listen, hold on. I have to say this joke. Okay. Why did Galliard Group bring the token POC to the video about the vampires that have no idea who their dads are, and to the mages that are addicted to drugs and live in the hood? What did they mean by this? I promised to myself I was going to say it.
I told you,
JoJo, we could have just as easily gotten King in here.
I told you ever since I shaved my head, we've been in a Nazi Johnny arc.
When did you shave your head, Joe?
He's a racist motherfucker.
His Kanye arc is complete.
He's a slave owner.
Well, part of it is that my hair got damaged beyond repair. Like my ends split to a point where I just couldn't manage it anymore.
That's fair. I keep meaning to schedule a haircut, and I just never gotten around to it. Like my hair is super poofy right now, and it's just uncomfortable to sleep on.
Yeah, when I'm able to comb my hair, I go with the wolf cut.
Yeah, I'm just having hair.
You don't ever use a comb. You just you do use a comb. You just use a hair dryer.
I just use a hairbrush.
That's what gets you to it. Now you get that wind blown look, and it gives volume to your hair.
I just freaking dry it off, and then it poops out naturally because I've got very poofy hair.
We got 15 minutes to talk about random shit. I'll have to go to work tomorrow. Let's drink the rest of this whiskey.
Fucking shit. Ran out of stuff to drink.
I mean, do we have to record just 15 minutes of bullshit, or can we cut?
Let's talk about something fun that's happening in our lives right now.
It's a miracle we got this far. Oh,
Kyle, we're having a pretty good 2026. I'm going to mention this, and we're going to talk about something Storyteller did.
Okay.
We are having a very good 2026 because Candace Owens is about to lose everything she has. She, as it turns out, has been violating a non-something agreement. I don't remember what it is.
A non-compete agreement?
Yeah, with TPUSA the entire time, because she said it was the French that killed Charlie. And then she said it was the J that killed Charlie. And then she said it was the wife. And it turns out you've been doing this for 4 months. You've been called multiple times. That you claim you haven't been called. No, you have been called. She flew out from Arizona to Nashville to have a 4-hour-long conversation with you over this shit. And then you did anyway, and now you're getting taken to the cleaners, and you're going to be sued for $11 million. The dumbass bitch.
See,
there's the whole thing right there.
Yeah, we're still having federal agents black bag civilians that legally are allowed to be here.
The Jays always win, Kyle. You're on the winning.
Not really. No, I'm still an American citizen. I'm not a Zionist, so I'm kind of fucked.
Wait until you're going to flip the trap card one day, and you're going to go. Everything's just going to fall right into your lap.
I'm just going to keep writing
books.
I
am so happy that this bitch is about to lose everything. I have hated this motherfucking bitch since the day I saw her. She's going to lose everything. It's ding dong, the bitch is dead. Which old bitch, the dumbass bitch. Ding dong, the wicked bitch is dead. Thank fuck she is.
Folks, you don't got to stick around for this part of the episode. We're pretty much done.
And along with that, Kyle, not only is like Styx Hexenhammer going to prison, and he's staying in prison, but also, what was I going to say?
I thought he was going to kill himself.
No, he's he might, but he might end up going to prison. We don't know what's going to happen first. But there was something else that popped in the news. It's Candace Owens. It Styx. There was some. Oh yeah, the boxing match. Kyle, we had the first internet sex match happen on Kick.com.
Yeah, and your dick in your hand the whole time.
Yeah, and it was the sexiest thing I saw on the internet all year.
All right, I'm ending the episode now.
Well, hold on. No, we have one more thing to talk about.
Do we?
Kyle, I've been trying to make a Zamichi character, and we made this guy. I don't know, I'm not calling him, but he's here.
He needs more arms and tits.
That's what you think, right?
Because the Samichi love putting tits on and multiple arms on random things.
But then Storyteller made this with him. Hang on, the image is loading. Yeah, this
Oh,
image.
that one?
That's kind of
Yeah.
neat.
Is there?
Is he fighting
so
an
that
Mage?
Yeah, that storyteller himself.
No, that's my mage character, Lucian Duval.
That's kind of interesting. Here,
I
I'll
wish I
put this
had
up.
that
I'll
man's
put
hair.
this up on screen so the folks at home can see it.
Yeah. So we are. So we got this high fashion Zimichi that I'm going to use in something. I don't know what I'm going to use him in, but he's going to be in something soon.
What's the name of that movie where it's like the dude that's like pale white skin comes down, drinks water, and then dies?
The Hills Have Eyes.
No.
I'm not
It
eating the
was like
stereotype. I'm eating fried chicken.
I think it was called
right now.
There's like Prometheus or something like that.
Oh, Prometheus.
And
The Alien spinoff.
yeah, that's the one. And it's just like a pale white dude, and he's like super buff, and he's got like an IQ of 5,000. And the first thing he does is just start breaking shit, because that's what you do when you have an IQ of 5,000.
Right. So we got ourselves a high fashion Zimichi in both flesh and clothing. That's an authentic velvet jacket with mink lining in it.
Why is his
He's
mouth just the
fabulous.
full length of his body?
When you're a
This is a
Zimichi and
vagina
have the
mouth.
metamorphosis, you just do this.
It sounds terrible.
You
And wildly
completely
uncomfortable.
overhaul your appearance once every year, Kyle. Which is... Kyle, you remember Sasha Vikos, right? I honestly did not see the penis in that picture.
It fooled me too, and then I saw it after fucking after Joe
Between
said
his
something about
legs.
it.
It was the whole like Family Guy joke of, hey, Chris.
Hey
is that
Chris,
the
is
leg
that your
got?
leg?
Oh, that's not your leg.
Why does it have piercings?
Not, no, I'm telling you, this is.
I don't
this
know.
is
Ask
why-
Vic.
This is why you want to be embraced by a Zimichi, because you can do this shit to yourself.
I don't want to. That sounds disgusting.
You can unlock the third, fourth, and fifth gender with the Zimichi.
I know.
The forbidden gender.
The forbidden gender.
It's like drinking. It's like drinking like 4 5-hour energy, or no, 5 5-hour energies to unlock the legendary hour of the day.
The 25th hour.
The forbidden 25th hour.
Yes.
All right. That's a round of content, Gene, everyone.
All right, good night, everybody.
Thank you for joining us today, and remember, have all your pets